let you fiddle around. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Just get stuff. I should do my my Chaz impersonation.
Hey, good evening, Warband. Get your red robe, sacrifice your goat, and prepare for the Red Pill Cult Meeting number 34. Sports Scandals featuring Green Munny. I think it's still getting
What's up?
Hey. Hey, Skeleton, Kite and Chaz, Fish Got Nukes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's been a while.
So who the fuck is this guy? I'm sure you're saying.
Yes, introduce yourself.
All right, so I'm doing a debut here on the in the warband sphere of things. Maybe a familiar voice, maybe you heard it before. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? But reborn, baby, reborn. For those of you who may get the reference for the avatar, throw it in the chat. But yeah, let's just say that I have a lot of insider knowledge into the machinations of law, women, and grape. We'll just put it that way. And I drink a lot. Not as much as Chaz. because he's autistic. But anyways, does that cover it? I'm sure people have questions.
I think that more or less covers it. But let's jump into the content because we don't want I'm not like Chronic. I don't know how to do the whole rambling off the top of my head kind of deal. So for all you segment cells out there, we're jumping right into the segments. Our first one, Canadian news. So all you Americans, sorry, now you get to know what the rest of the world feels like. So, yes.
This is relevant to you guys, though. You need to learn the lessons that this story has for you.
Yes, all of you who are athletes, aspiring athletes, intend to be athletes, or at the very least intend to be rich and famous at some point. And hey, who knows? Maybe Chaz with his fighting game prowess could learn from this too. But we have...
Oh, that's a deep cut. That was a deep cut.
Hey, he's damn good, man. He could go pro. I believe in him. But published July 24th, updated July 25th. So, about 3 weeks ago. We're not that far off. All 5 hockey players acquitted in Hockey Canada sex assault case ruled ineligible by the NHL. Not guilty. So, slight W there. But yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah, Munny, you need the background facts before we can talk about this.
Yeah, Munny, you have the insider scoop on this, so.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm not a world junior hockey player. I was never that good, but I've actually been this story has been talked a lot about a lot in the legal sphere. It should be talked a lot on both sides of the border. I don't know why Americans put their head in the sand and be like, oh, nothing in Canada or UK ever affects us. Bullshit. Play that. Get the fucking sound effect from Alex Jones. Bullshit. What happens in Canada is 4 years from happening in America. And you don't think that false grape allegations are a thing in America? Come on.
Oh, they know. They know that they're absolutely a thing.
So, the background on this, there's not much to say about it.
Hasn't there been that football star that just recently settled for a shit ton of money?
Deshaun Watson?
Maybe, I don't know.
That was the Texas player that for the Texans that a bunch of massage therapists.
No.
I'm not sure that's the one you're talking about.
No. Chronic recently had me do a meme of the guy. 1 sec, I'll put the meme up. Exactly. Yeah, get this up here.
All right. Well, you're searching for that. I'll tell a little bit of the background story of the World Junior players here. So, it should go without further explanation that hockey's a big thing in Canada. And if you are a member of the World Junior hockey team, these are the I think it's the under 20 is technically what it's because it's 17 and 18 and 16-year-old guys who are the next big NHL stars. And very rarely do the best of the best 18-year-olds actually go to this tournament because they've been drafted already and playing on an NHL team. But so Canada doesn't always do so well because half of their team is already in the NHL, being a superstar on their respective teams. So we send the second best. But they tend to do really well, except for recently. Fucking stupid hockey. Anyways, so it's a really big deal to be selected to Canada's national junior team. You're already an instant celebrity, and you're 17 years old with a raging boner. So when the summer comes around and they're doing a bunch of charity golf tournaments and whatnot, they go to a bar, start drinking, and they meet with this what can only be described as a hoe. And she hooks up with one of the players, and then she's just like, oh, can you bring the rest of the team in? rode a train on me. And so he does. Fast forward, and you will see the date in the article is 2018. 2018. 7 years ago. And then, of course, she's like, oh, they forced me, and they raped me, and I was just so scared. We really need that. Damn it, I got to get an Alex Jones thing on my soundboard here. But bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, that's the background. Let's read the facts that they're in the article here, especially the part about where the players actually videotaped her giving consent. I don't know if this article's got all the background. I think it's going to. It might be further down.
And of course, they keep her fucking name hidden.
Oh yeah, because there's no accountability ever. The reason this took 7 years was because there had already been a mistrial. The police investigated and declined to lay charges, and then she went to a media company, and when the media published it, then the police were like, "Oh, I guess we'll reopen the case, take a second look." And the Crown prosecutor. Now, here's the thing that you guys may not appreciate or understand, but there's a term called prosecutorial discretion. The choice of a prosecutor to pursue criminal charges. See, that's the thing is, if and this scenario happens, I think daily, possibly every hour across both countries, where there's some kind of domestic thing going on, cops get called and they separate them. Nowadays, a lot of states have a policy where they have to arrest someone if they get called to a domestic violence thing. Usually it's the guy. We know that. The other side of that is, even if the spouse or the partner is uncooperative, the prosecutor can still proceed with the charges. So even if they're like, "Oh, I didn't want you to press charges or anything. I just wanted him out of the house for the night. I want him to sober up." Again, a daily occurrence. But no, the prosecutor will be like, it's our policy. We pursue these charges. That happens on both sides of the border. In Canada, they're called Crown prosecutors. In the U.S., they're district attorneys. Same difference as they say in Quebec. But anyways, let's see what did you find the part of the article where they talk about her? Oh, I think you've got the live feed, so they're just you might have to scroll to the bottom to find the background info.
Yeah, well, here EM's testimony doesn't match video. Video shows an extended conversation with the bouncer while there, whom she said was a friend. Said she was completely out of it when she arrived at the hotel. However, she added video showed EM exiting the club, checking phone, walking upstairs without difficulty.
So she said she was so drunk that she couldn't consent, and yet she's on surveillance camera, running up a flight of stairs, looking at her phone, not stumbling or anything like that. Okay, that is key, because I know a lot more about Canadian law than American law, but I think the concept is similar. You can be too drunk to consent. Women can be. I don't know about. I doubt men. They apply the same standard because double standards and all. But
from what I've heard, if a guy is the first one to launch an accusation, if they're both too drunk, the guy can get ahead of it by being the first one to launch the accusation. Although that was in a college setting, so don't know how much that applies.
It sounds kind of sus to me.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. But that would be the only advice, guys. If you wake up the next morning to a woman and you don't really remember how it all happened, you better file before she files. That is literally the only defense you have at that point.
Put it this way: the weight of her and the size of the dent she leaves in your bed should be proportional to how motivated you are to file that suit.
Okay, let's be honest. I think that doesn't matter how hot she is, the likelihood of her going is never zero. So better her ass gets in jail than yours.
By the way, do not file false allegations.
Hey, if you wake up next to a woman and you don't remember how you got there, like, how do you know it didn't happen? Because if she files saying that, like, oh, I just woke up to this guy, that 100% you're going in the fucking slammer.
You know what was funny is because of the Equal Rights Amendment in the U.S. Constitution, and Canada's got the same thing too in their Charter of Rights and Freedoms. If you go to the cops and be like, "Oh my God, I couldn't say no because I was paralyzed with fear and I have so much anxiety and I have nightmares," like, they have to take it at face value because that's what they say. They can't just be like, "Well, I don't actually think you know, I mean, you're dude. Why would you be paralyzed? What would you have to fear from her?" They can't say that because that's like improper.
You got it. Like, that's the thing. Like, if the law is unfair, you have to use the unfairness of the law in your favor. Like, if the one who breaks the rules wins, you don't want to be a loser. So,
oh, for crying out loud! # not legal advice. Oh God. Okay. Anyways, so when that header there that says the testimony doesn't match the video, it's referring to the surveillance video. She was also on because the hockey players were all staying at a hotel. This all took place in a hotel room. And thank fucking God it did. Can you imagine if they had gone back to like his apartment or something?
Yeah, God, yeah. Like, that's if there's one advantage to a fucking surveillance state, at the very least, some of this stuff showed up. It's kind of like how with, like, a bunch of people were so excited that the cops had to wear fucking body cams. It was like, oh, that was going to expose all their bullshit and all their systemic racism. And then it showed, yeah, there's actually significantly less. And now we can see why the cops were systemically racist.
Uh-huh. Yeah, webcams were probably the greatest backfire in the history of protest movements.
Yeah, webcams, body cams, shit. Now, like, honestly, doorbell cams. Like, that's the thing. You can't trust public cameras either. So, like, if you are for any goddamn reason in going to bring like a woman into your house, for fuck's sakes, at the very least, have a doorbell cam, if not some interior surveillance.
Like a Nest cam or something on your garage. Like, yeah, holy shit, guys. The only thing you can't have is a camera in the bedroom without her consent. But definitely have a living room camera or something. Although that's what got Steven Crowder busted outed for being a piece of shit. Was his indoor, I guess, his surveillance cameras inside his house.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, just don't act like Steven Crowder.
Are women even real? Sometimes you have to wonder.
Well, I guess you have to wonder, though, like, how many women are actually, player characters?
If women were all created by the Matrix, what possible line of code would explain the entirety of their behavior? Ergo, no AI could ever simulate all of the behaviors of them.
Really?
Ergo,
you
not
don't,
the Matrix.
You don't think shoving a random number generator into an NPC's behavior could replicate the dysfunction?
No, I don't think it's random.
Not even pure random. No, I was like, I'm not even talking Matrix. Like, have you heard of the concept of like actual NPCs, like people who like they don't have any internal agency?
I don't know. I think biology is their agency.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Is
run
like
by an evil
no,
computer.
but here's the thing. Like when something happens, you'll like stop and you'll think, and you might even have a dialogue with yourself, right?
Well,
Like you can have you can have thoughts in your head that you just think in your head, separate from your actions. Yes.
depends. I mean, that's not true for everyone.
No, but
in first, I guess if you're the first person, of course, I mean that describes you. But put yourself in someone else's mind. Okay, here, let me give you an example. Is there any possible way an AI could simulate a driver going down the expressway in the left lane, 20 miles under the speed limit, with their left blinker on?
I mean, honestly,
could a computer simulate that?
I think yeah. Because
you don't think that the computer would be like, no, that's too ridiculous. People wouldn't do that.
No, all the computer has to do. I just adjust my volume here. But no, all you need to do for that to become plausible is to have the wrong inputs. Like you've seen machines like just get out of sync on one thing or another, and then they've done the completely wrong thing with absolute confidence.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't think a computer could ever simulate. And this is a secondhand story from the office setting. Trying to refill a printer's ink by dumping the ink into the printer, breaking open the cartridge and pouring it into the printer's intake feed. I don't know if a computer could ever come up with that.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, what I would think is that they got their is basically they see refill ink, cross-reference that with refill some sort of other liquid, like refill the coffee machine with water, and they're like, oh, add ink to printer, okay. And then they crack open the little container and pour it in. Like, I can absolutely see those wires getting crossed somewhere as like an error to not specify that refill for printer is a different subroutine than refill for coffee machine. Or refill for windshield washer fluid. Because most of the time, refill
fluid.
Yeah, it's right next to the elbow grease.
Hang on. We can keep going back to. We can go back to this story, but
yeah,
I'm drawing something in paint currently, and I want you to show it once I'm done.
all right.
Because I watched a podcaster do this before, and it was one of the funniest bits I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Raisin, Ash Blackwood, welcome. Yeah, so we got the crown. So in order to reach a conviction that the accused touched the complainant, yes, that's probably there. That the touching was of a sexual nature, pretty sure there's no argument there, and that there was an absence of consent, and that's really the sticking point in all this.
Yeah, so the consent case law in Canada, there's like three things you need to prove: that it was voluntary, contemporaneous, meaning that you can't give advance consent. In Canadian law, if your wife texts you and says like, oh, when you get home from work tonight, I want you to fuck me silly, that's actually not consent. You have to still get it when you get home. Contemporaneous means like as the act is occurring, you still have to have consent. And then ongoing as well is the other criteria. So you have to meet those three criteria. Otherwise, you don't have it. And consent is a reverse onus thing. You can't proceed with the absence of it. You have to positively ID and obtain it. You can have what's called a defense. It's called honest but mistaken belief, because consent doesn't mean like just saying yes. It could mean other things too, like she pulls you into her. But you have to like really prove to a judge like, the things I saw and heard and she said made me believe that I had consent. And then she gets up there and is like, well, I said yes, but actually it was opposite days, so I meant no.
Yeah, and that's honestly some of the biggest bullshit, because like that is the guilty until proven innocent perspective, which is fucking horseshit. It should be like on her to prove that she gave clear rejection of consent and that the act proceeded even after that clear rejection of consent was understood.
Oh, it don't work like that.
I know it don't work like that. I absolutely know it don't work like that. But that's how in a fucking sane society, like one where certain groups of people don't get to vote, that's probably how it would fucking work.
I did send you an image to play a little game with everyone here in the chat.
Oh boy. All right,
this is like a
okay.
Do you know where this is going?
I do not know where this is going, but I'm curious. So yeah, I'll put it up on screen in a second.
Before we get too far removed from this women are AI thing, that we're all in a simulation.
Well, no. Again, like when I say NPCs, I'm not talking like we're in a simulation. I mean like they're still actual real life humans. They just don't actually have any interior agency.
I'm gonna stop you right there. They're not people.
Well, that's the thing. Well, it depends. It depends what you define as a person. But let's explain this image, because guaranteed it's going to be some sort of meme archive.
Yeah. So what you're looking at on the left is a cup with water in it. Pretty simple concept, right?
All right. Yeah.
The image on the right is the same cup tilted on its side. Now, Gray, if you are able to draw on that image, could you demonstrate for me approximately what the water would look like inside the cup?
I can't. I don't know how to draw on the image here, but essentially, like assuming that it is being tilted over like somewhat slowly, the water would remain more or less level horizontally and start to move towards the open end of the cup.
Yeah, don't overthink this. We're not assuming any kind of like inertia or motion or anything like that.
Yeah,
these are two pictures of static cups in a gravitational environment.
Oh yeah, no. If it's two static cups, then yeah, you're going to have, and they're filled with the same amount of water. Then the water is going to be like it's going to remain at that same horizontal level and just maintain its volume. Therefore, but it's not going to like stick to the bottom. It's not like curdled milk or anything.
So I saw this on a podcast a very long time ago. It was like a couple of years or whatever, but he gave this test to like a bunch of women in his life, like his mom, his wife, his girlfriend, or his not his wife, his girlfriend, his sister, and asked the same question. And I have drawn for you what their answer was. And my question to the audience is, does this offend you in any way? Does what they say the water is doing offend your sensibilities? There's the other image. And I wish I could find a bit, but the guy got kicked off of YouTube, so like all his old YouTube archives are down. Otherwise, I'd just pull up that video to show you, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, 1 second. God. just looking at it, it's like I can kind of see what I can kind of see what they're coming from, kinda. but yeah, let's pull this up. Just one.
And chat. I mean, you tell me if you agree with what Gray said or if you agree with what he shows you.
Yeah, 'cause that's just the thing. It's like,
Where would the water be?
it's like again, like
How does gravity work, Craig?
because now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I actually did something very similar to this in a photo shoot once, where we had to get this nice little spiral. Like, we basically had to get the water like splashing out of a wine glass. And we had to like jury rig this whole thing so that the water would splash and then we'd be able to capture it at the exact moment that it splashed in a beautiful arc for like product photography. And like to get it to go like that specifically, you need to first of all have it tilted. Second, it needs to be moving sideways like that and then come to a sudden stop. Like that.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean, obviously, because you had that unique experience, maybe your mind went there. But the test assumes just a static system, no motion, no movement, no inertia, nothing like that.
Yeah, like static system, tilt the glass sideways, like it's not going to spill out. Like I take my can of beer, even if I put the lid towards the mouth facing side, I can tilt it at like beyond a 45-degree angle. Like the water, the beer inside is not splashing out.
Yeah, Raisin, you got it. Now, look, I got a glass of rum and coke right now, and I've got it tilted exactly the same angle as I have demonstrated, and I can tell you what the liquid looks like. It's flat relative to the earth, to the ground. It will always be flat. It's a liquid. It will always be flat relative to the ground, parallel with the surface of the frickin' planet, not magically crawling up the side as if some sort of weird, like, scientific anti-fluid that can just, like, defy gravity in some way.
Ghostbusters mood slime all of a sudden.
By the way, I see you got a super chat. Nice. I didn't realize you had that enabled.
Yeah, no, I actually finally started to monetize stuff. So thank you, just some random guy, for the 2 bits. Nice. Not sure what kind of currency that is, but it looks like $2. I'm gonna think it's $2. Thank you. But yeah, no, because this like
realm liquid. Oh, shout out to the Gecko Ninja, by the way, who made this avatar. He's fucking good, man. Yeah, go to him for all of your artistic needs. Go to Chaz for all your autistic needs.
Precisely. But that's the thing, is like what I can understand is like women see this and their mind immediately jumps to the glass has been knocked over and so the liquid comes out.
Yeah. Now, you tell me what, if we were living in a simulation, for the guys who think that we're all in a computer or whatever, what computer could come up with an answer that wrong?
Again, I would think, okay, because like as someone who's working with AI, like a little bit, especially AI images, you can tell it what you want. And if you told it what you wanted in the wrong way, or it interpreted it in the wrong way, it can give you a completely wrong thing. So what I see is like women see glass tilted sideways. Memory bank flashes back to all visual references of glasses being tilted sideways. All references are glass has been knocked over at social event, ergo water splashes out of glass when tilted sideways. Like that is how I could see an AI messing this up and getting an answer that wrong. Now, for it to be that consistently wrong, because that's the thing, this teaches you how women's brains work. They're not abstracting it. This is literal, illustrated bitch think. They can only conceptualize their own experiences. They can't abstract it to a neutral perspective. They've only ever seen
And they've
glasses.
knocked over plenty of glasses.
Absolutely, because at that point, chances are they've all been drunk and they've all had glasses on the table, probably wine glasses, and then they've flailed their hands around while talking with their hands, and they've knocked shit over. Guaranteed.
Sounds like this was your last date night.
Considering my last date night was several years ago. I mean, no, it's just...
Are you officially monk mode?
For all intents and purposes, yeah. Like, I'm basically I'm basically the mentality of passport bro, but I don't see the reason to mess around with the locals. So I am, for all intents and purposes, monk mode. But, you know, once I save up for a trip to the Philippines, even then, like...
I mean, Rodrigo Duterte is not in charge anymore, so they're kind of going backwards.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so no, it's more so the idea that, like, look, she's going to be a virgin on the fucking wedding night. So, and considering how high the requirements are, I am, for all intents and purposes, monk mode until my wedding night. So if I don't get married, then monk mode for life. Only reason I do it is for kids, and honestly, surrogacy is looking like a better and better option every day.
Oh god, if they perfect the artificial womb inside those sex dolls, it's over.
I guess I don't even think they need to be in the sex doll. Artificial womb and sex dolls can be entirely separate things. Like, if I really wanted the full experience, I could probably just get, like, a modular pregnancy belly for the wife. Like, for the sex doll wife.
This is taking a very weird turn.
And then, but that's the thing. No, like, I will gladly just, like, go to the clinic, like, jerk it into as many fucking vials as they need. And then they can keep that in a nice little incubation chamber. I am not risking... I'm not risking that thing going into the fucking sex bot wife. Like, look,
Morty.
Like,
yeah, Gecko Ninja just says Gazorpasaurus. Morty.
Precisely. That's the thing. You just like now in that with the fucking Gazorpasaurus thing, like, they were purposely trying to fucking collect it all. Like,
This conversation went so off the rails.
My God.
Okay, I was like, what did I miss? Apparently you missed the transition sequence.
Yeah, no, like now... Hey, Japan. If you really want to combat your fucking crisis, pull a fucking Gazorpazorp, release sex bots, and have them be like fucking sperm collectors that then have to, like, go in for maintenance, and they keep the refrigerated sperm there so that you can use that in order to breed the next generation of worker drones. I've seen weirder.
If I ever have kids, I sure hope the hell they never see this video.
Oh, don't worry. My channel's probably going to get taken down before too long once I start regularly posting shit on it again. Especially with the whole YouTube thing, and so I'm glad that everything's being backed up to Rumble. Oh yeah, shout out. We are on Rumble. We are streaming on Rumble. And given that YouTube is doing its damnedest to self-destruct, I'm thinking that Rumble's a damn good place to invest. But yeah,
I think,
but that's the thing. Like,
I'm.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want, like, look, if I want conversation with a facsimile of a woman to pretend to love me, I got fucking AI chatbots. I do not need the fucking sex bot to have this fucking AI functionality. I do not need it to make me a fucking sandwich. I do not need it to wash the fucking dishes. Like, divide your machines by task, because if you try to get a machine that does all in one, chances are you're going to get a machine that does none of them properly.
Dad, are you that wad of cash? Yes, I am, kiddo. See, and that's the thing is, I'll tell you what. And it sounded very Texan to me, but I I won't hide from the fact that I grew up pretty poor, but now I work at it. The job that I got now makes me more money than I've ever seen in my life. And I bought a very nice car, a car that I'm very proud to own and drive. It's a lot of fun to drive. Um, just for oh man, I don't even know what the translation would be from kilometers to miles per hour, but I have hit 210 on a Canadian highway in that car.
Yeah, so that'd be
Not
around
for very
like,
long, mind you.
yeah, no, but that'd probably be like 150 something miles or something.
Yeah, so um not just to make the point that the the interactions I had with women just on the street, just showing up to a bar, going downtown, just hanging out, doing my stuff, but the amount of attention I get is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. Because people look at that car and they'll be like, "Oh shit, that guy knows what he's doing. That's a fucking nice car." It's not a super car by any means, but it's definitely more than like it's way more than a Ford Fusion or a Honda Civic or anything like that.
Yeah, no,
It is definitely a performance car.
yeah, you're pulling up with a car that says this guy has enough money that he can spend it on a really nice car.
And it's yeah, Ninja, that Gecko Ninja, that's right, man. Their eyes light up in the dollar signs. I've had so many. Well, and the single moms with the tats are the worst for this.
Yeah, because they realize that if they get the divorce, then they're driving that fucking car.
Yeah. Um, I, you know what? If I was a weaker man, I'll say this: if I was a weaker man, I might have actually fallen for that attention and become a simp. I'm glad, I'm glad I have a lot more willpower than that, and I also understand how much hard work it took for me to get to this place. Like it, how that just the suffering, the eating of the instant noodles and the craft dinner, maybe a couple days. You're like, the only thing I got left here is like a cup of soup. All that pain, all that suffering to get to this point. If I didn't have that perspective and if I just always was raised with that silver spoon and I was just used to getting that kind of attention, I'd absolutely be a simp. But now with the benefit of hindsight, well, I didn't change. Like my looks didn't change. I don't wear different clothes. I just drive a different car. And I'm not, when I go to a bar, I can buy a round of Burt Reynolds for everyone. And the change in the attention that I got has taught me that for 90% of them, it really is that superficial. Now, one of the advantages to living in a place that gets a lot of tourism is that when summer comes around and the beaches are full, there's a lot of candy to look at.
Well,
and sometimes just looking is enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes just looking is enough.
Of course,
everyone appreciates good art.
Yeah, of course, I heard.
Right? Everyone appreciates good art.
Nowadays, nearby Calgary, I've heard you got to be careful which lake you swim in.
Oh yeah, they have big algae blooms and whatnot. But
no, the ones that have become open air sewers.
Oh, I know I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
That's more of an Ontario thing, though. Like Wasaga Beach, it's not as bad here.
No, I straight up saw an article a couple days ago. Just one lake just outside of Alberta, straight up said Calgary. Yeah, no swimming here anymore. There's too much human feces in the water.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yes.
No reason. It's the other culture that is well known for shitting in fucking public waterways.
It is. We essentially are taking in what Trump is rejecting. essentially. So,
No, I don't think he's kicking that many Indians out.
and the expired, he is cracking down on the expired visas because they're really bad for student visas that expire and they just stay here.
Yeah, but again, I don't know how much of a problem that is in the U.S. Definitely a problem in Canada.
Oh, it's definitely a problem in the U.S. too. It's just compared to the other immigration problem.
Yeah.
It's so much more.
Compared to the ones flooding across the border, it's like complaining about the leaking faucet when your garden hose is going full tilt.
Yeah. So, anyways, we really should get back to our article. Man, did we ever get sideways on that one? But no, I think there is a lesson to learn is that when you get that moment when you get the promotion that you've been waiting for your entire life and you're finally making money where you're like, man, this is good money. Like, I like where I live. I like my car. I like my situation. You'll notice very soon after, maybe it's just the way we walk or something. I don't know. Maybe I walk differently. I hold my head higher and women just pick up on that subtle cue. But
well, does this happen even in places where like you haven't made any changes to your clothes or car? Like,
well, like even in like I still shop at Walmart because it's convenient, and it's close to me.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I walk or hold my head when I'm walking. But no matter where I go, I'll get like I have never once been, before I finished school and whatever. I've never once had like a random woman in a store walk up to me and just casually start a conversation. Like I'm not used to getting that kind of attention. Now, in terms of look, I'm 5'8", right? So I'm not very tall. I used to have a six pack when I was lighter, but I've put some weight on since then. But I didn't get that kind of attention where like I'd get random ladies coming up and, oh, hey, do you have the time? Or, yeah, can you tell me can you help me find this thing? Or, oh my God, I love your car. Where'd you get that? Like, that was not a thing
yeah, like that would
had experience with.
Yeah, I was thinking like my wonder would be like, are they doing it because it's some subconscious body thing, or are they just noticing that you walked out of the car?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to do like an A/B test on that or something.
Exactly, but, like you'd have to like walk
trade cars with a buddy or whatever.
Like trade cars or like I don't know, like walk somewhere, maybe like not wearing your nicest stuff or whatever, and then like see if it happens then, and then like maybe the next day or whatever, or next week, drive to that same location in your car and then see if there's a change. Because I've seen the odd video, don't know how fake they were, where like guy shows interest in a girl blows him off, guy like starts getting into the car and she immediately starts showing interest. So
I just assume they're fake. I just assume everything I see on social media is fake.
It's a video on the internet. It's a video on the internet, probably fake, especially when it's got a consistent fucking camera angle that looks like it's on a tripod.
This video right here is fake too. Like, do you guys actually believe a pile of money is talking right now?
Well, hey, they might be boomers. I mean, like, honestly, that's one of the most shocking things to me. Because, like you were a child in Canada at one point, yes?
Yeah, at one point, yes.
Do you remember the House Hippo commercials?
Yes, I do.
How is it that the generation that made and published the House Hippo commercials is so fucking gullible?
I'll tell you exactly why I remember that commercial. Like, I just saw it yesterday. At the very end is only when and it's a voiceover. Like, people just tune that out. They just remember the House Hippo portion because it was very compelling. It was funny. And then there's a voiceover that's like, and of course it's a grading like teacher voice too. It comes on and it says, first of all, it speaks in garbled mess, like it's got a thing of marbles or a set of testicles in her mouth. And she's like, well, that could have been believable, wasn't it? you should check everything you see and hear. And it's like from some concerned parents council thing group or whatever.
Yeah. A message from concerned.
Like,
Yeah, that looked really real, didn't it? But you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's important to question what you see on TV and ask questions, kind of like you just did. A message from concerned children's advertisers.
That's it. Yep. And it's amazing that we both remember it so vividly. But that's not the part I remembered. Like I said, I garbled through it because I was like, I don't remember that part. I remember the house hippo part. That was the compelling part of the commercial, and then you tune out the boring part.
I don't know. I didn't tune out the boring part because to me, like, I don't know. I latched onto the whole like don't. But they just reinforced the message. See, don't believe what you see on TV. Don't believe what you see on the internet. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Everything's fucking fake. Like.
Don't ever believe what a woman says.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't exactly a publicly spread message. That's more so like that's more so been a recent public widespread message, but or ancient wisdom, depending on how much Bible you read. But that's the thing.
Well, let me stop you right there because the Bible is the biggest. The Bible raises the biggest simps, in my opinion.
I would okay, here's the thing. I would agree that churchgoers are the biggest simps. But there's a big difference between the people who go to church and the people who read the Bible.
Okay, I can get on with that.
Because that's the thing. Because I've gone to church, and the amount of times I have gone, this is such fucking bullshit, because it's basically just the fucking pastor, which at my church has been fucking woman for God knows how long. It's fucking bullshit. Anyway, like a recent one, just a couple years ago, was like, God provides for all of the animals, like the birds and the squirrels do not struggle. And I'm thinking, what the fuck bullshit are you teaching the children? That fucking animals do not struggle to survive in nature? That they just get to live free of fucking worry and concern? Like every day is not an existential crisis where they might die due to random happenstance and they all run the risk of starvation because they never know where the next meal is coming from? And you're gonna teach fucking children that life as a fucking bird is just paradise? That's the thing. Churches are fucking simp bullshit. Reading the Bible is a different matter.
And that's why the House Hippo commercial never hit properly with me, because it tells you to question everything, but then you go to school and say, hey, teacher, I think that thing you just told me about climate change is bullshit. And, well, next thing you know, you're in detention for a year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, the House Hippo thing taught you to question, but that was also when, like, the conservatives were in power. I'm pretty sure that once the liberals were in power, questioning the media went off the fucking table.
No, the House Hippo would not have been. That would have been the Jean Chrétien years.
I remember it more like the 90s, which might have been Chrétien.
That was also Jean Chrétien.
I just remember my mom bitching about Mike Harris.
Oh, the premier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because Mike might have been a provincial.
Yeah, so
thing. Like I don't know about.
It was definitely a.
Yeah, like provincially it was conservative. Federally, yeah, it was Chrétien for a while.
Well, that's the usual, that's the pattern anyways, because it was, Harper was in power, it was Liberal premiers, and then, of course, Trudeau gets in, and now Doug Ford's the premier. I know a lot of people won't call Doug Ford a conservative. He's a hell of a lot more conservative than your average Ontarian.
Well, I mean, like, when you have to compare him to fucking Kathleen Wynne, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this don't even get me started. You know what? I'm not even going to go into a political rant. I'll save that one. Let's get back to the fucking article here, because what are we, like 30 minutes since we talked about this World Junior thing?
Yeah, but going off on side tangents unrelated to the article is kind of a staple of my show. That's why I don't post segments.
we have to get a video editor or something. Anyways, we're having trouble finding the detail in the article, but I know it off the top of my head, so I'll just let everyone know. So of course, the one hockey player brings this hoe back to his hotel room. They start hooking up, and then she's like, "Hey, can you bring some of your friends in?"
Apparently, right here. Here's the detail. Court heard that McLeod texted a group chat asking if anyone wanted to be in a, quote, three-way. That Hart replied, quote, "I'm in." Testified that he was drunk and his first memory of the complainant was seeing her laying naked on a sheet on the floor, masturbating. Testified that the woman was offering sex to the men in the room and that he briefly received oral sex from her.
So the judge found this to be truthful, credible. So the judge accepted that as true because her version was that she was crying and like scared and whatever. Anyways, she keeps asking them to just do a bunch of weird stuff to her. I don't think it's pretty debaucherous. And whatever. I'm not going to judge because guys are going to guy, but at some point the original guy that brought her to the hotel room is like, man, this is like fucked up. So he grabs his cell phone, starts recording her, and she's just on video like, oh yeah, like I'm here with everyone and I totally consent to all this. They introduce that video as evidence.
Yeah, post-nut clarity kicks in and he's like, you know, this is the post-Me Too era. I better get some insurance here.
And of course, she says that they like forced her to make that video. Now, here's the thing. If you remember the 3 components of consent I said earlier, it has to be voluntary, contemporaneous, and ongoing, or they sometimes refer to it as the 3 C's, right? But
which honestly is such bullshit because then they're like, yeah, but you also can't record it. So like, you're not allowed to fucking you're not allowed to record the actual act as it's actually fucking happening to verify everything.
Well, no, you can. You can record if you have her consent and she's over 18. In which she was over 18 in this.
Yeah,
and all the hockey players were too, because they were former World Junior players. I think. Oh, actually, maybe they may not have been. I'm not sure about. No, they were over 18 because that's why they have their names. In Canada, if you're under 18, they don't publish your name. I think that's the same in the States too. They like withhold the name for being underaged. But anyways, her name is not published because they don't. That's just an automatic thing. Whenever there's a rape allegation, they don't publish her name. But anyways, that video actually was not valid proof of consent because they weren't actually having sex at the time the video was shot, and they were referring to acts that took place before the video. So it doesn't meet the contemporaneous criteria, which means that the consent has to be given during the act and has to be ongoing. And so, and then of course she also argued the voluntariness because she was too drunk to consent. But then of course you see her on the video and she looks a little drunk, but she's not like slurring her words and her eyes are rolling in different directions. Like everyone knows what a really blackout drunk person looks like. And that's actually, there's a provision in Canadian law that says, normally when you give evidence, you can't give your opinion on anything, but there is an exception for what's called layperson's opinion as to how drunk someone was, because it's generally accepted that most people have seen someone drunk in their life and it would be able to comment, oh, I think the person was this amount of drunk. That's especially true for police officers who deal with drunk people all the time.
Again, this is the infuriating part, is that, again, it's like, that the requirement to fucking prove innocence rather than, you have to prove that they heard non-consent is like, no. Once you're accused, you have to have you got to basically live stream your fucking sex act every single time. So that like she doesn't sit, and then you have to like fucking pre-establish that you had a goddamn safe word and that she didn't say the safe word the entire time.
Now, because that video that I mentioned wasn't actually proof of consent, it was used as evidence to, I guess, show her to be untruthful, unreliable, a liar. There, right there, EM's testimony is not credible. Read that portion there.
So Superior Justice, Maria. Oh, they got a woman judge. Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You really need a woman judge in these cases because male judges will fucking simp. It is rare to get a male judge that doesn't fucking simp. So you want a female judge in these cases because she'll see through their fucking bullshit. So, Superior Court Justice Maria Karosha, not sure how to pronounce that, is telling court that the complainant,
I don't know how to say that.
Telling court that the complainant in the case did not present credible testimony. Signs of release can be heard in the courtroom where family members of the accused are seen behind defense rumors. She has not yet delivered a formal ruling as of 10:40 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. So this is as shows. The judge delivered an oral reasoning. There you can see. Defense. The paragraph starting with defense lawyers for the players.
Yeah.
That's their version, and that's the version that the judge accepted.
Yeah, she initiated 2 cell phone videos taken at night by an hour apart, in which she says she's okay with this. It was all consensual. The Crown argued these were not evidence that she actually consented. Like, that's the thing. It's like
now the Crown won that argument.
But that's the thing. Is like, it's like if you show somebody, it's like saying, how can you prove that a murder took place via stabbing if you don't have video evidence mid-stabbing? Yes, you have videos after the fact of the victim dead and the accused covered in blood holding the knife, but it's not valid evidence of the murder because you don't have the murder actually taking place on camera.
Yeah, so the term for that is circumstantial evidence, in which and that would be strong circumstantial evidence, but you could reasonably infer that an action has occurred based on the context that you have seen around it. And a lot of murders are circumstantial evidence because the victim obviously can't testify. Very few murders are actually caught live on video.
I'm reminded of that fucking bit in Family Guy where, like, Lois's brother is, like, the fat guy's strangler, and she keeps on coming up with reasons why, like, it could be Patrick, and then, like, literally there's a fucking half-dead fat guy straight up saying, like, Patrick did, and she's like, well, maybe it's some other Patrick.
Yeah, like, and I mean, and the point of that bit is to show, like, the lengths that she's going to, stick her head in the sand, live in denial, whatever you want to say, but what that is very accurate to what happens with reasonable and logical inferences drawn from the evidence. Beyond a reasonable doubt is a very high standard, and that's the same across Canada and the US. In order to send someone to jail, you have to convince beyond a reasonable doubt that they did the thing that was said to be done. And if it's a circumstantial case, it can hinge on what are the other conclusions I can draw from the same evidence, and is it reasonable that any of these other situations occurred?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It just appears in cases like this, reasonable doubt doesn't apply. It basically has to be a shadow of the doubt that you are innocent or you're guilty.
Yeah, so in this case, the judge basically called her a liar. I would say if the judge never came to that conclusion, these guys would have been convicted, which is not the standard at all. You not only do you have to, and in Canada, the case law for this is called WD, and it's a WD analysis. And the rules are, if you believe the accused, you must acquit. If you don't believe the accused, but their story raises reasonable doubt, you must acquit. If you don't believe the accused, you then must ask if you believe the victim. And if you do not, you must still acquit. And then finally, if you don't believe the accused and you do believe the victim, then that's the only pathway to guilty.
That's a terrifying Punnett square, if I'm being honest. But, you'd kind of hope for that.
Yeah. Now, in a lot of these rape cases, the threshold for the victim to be believable is that they say the right buzzwords. I was scared. I had anxiety. I was paralyzed by fear. I couldn't move. I had nightmares. I've been traumatized. If they say those buzzwords, that's just believable. And I just don't ever make me a judge, because I will literally just rule against every single one.
Yeah, well, I guess the thing is,
I don't believe you. You're lying. I don't believe you.
Have you seen like the Freerun anime at all, or even clips of it?
No.
Okay, so basically demons in that, like they can look human, but they are completely psychopathic. Like they just have no grasp of actual human emotions. And so at one point, like the main character, the elf mage, who has a real hate on for demons because they fucking murdered her village, runs into a town where a demon has taken the form of a couple's dead child. And she's about to kill it. And she's got like the hero of the era with her. And the demon cries out for like mommy. And the hero stops her. And Frieren says, "You're going to regret this." Then later, the demon murders another family in that village and brings the child to her adoptive parents. It was like, "Here, to replace the child that you lost." And Himmel has to accept it. And then at one point, the demon's asked, like, "Why do you cry for mommy when you have no concept of parents?" And the demon's like, "It's a phrase that stops humans from killing us." Like that's all it is.
That's deep. That cuts real. That's pretty deep.
But that's what it is.
I can't say I'm a big anime guy. I know I've watched a few. I would say among my favorites.
Honestly, Frieren is probably the best one to come out in the past several years. Like, if you don't watch any other anime, I recommend that one. Or at the very least, watch like the fucking highlights on YouTube clips. But that's
I sometimes watch the Shonen Jump. Like I was a big fan of Bleach. Naruto is. I'm only a fan of Naruto for the fights. I watch literally nothing else, and I think every character is useless in that anime. But sometimes the fights are good. I wish if I could have one anime wish in this world, I want the animators that did the movie. Which movie was it? Where they fight Momoshiki, like after, when Naruto and Sasuke are overpowered with their fucking godlike powers. The animators who worked on that movie should go back and do Naruto versus Pain and reanimate that fight.
That'd be neat.
Because I actually, sometimes when I'm bored, I will go back and actually watch that fight, but it's a shame that the animation quality was so terrible. Still a fucking good fight, though. Anyways, easily into my top 10 of anime fights. I've watched a little bit of JoJo. It's hard to get into JoJo. Its pacing is terrible. But I've watched a little bit of it. Fist of the North Star, if you want to go back into the old days. When I was a kid, I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I definitely don't watch it anymore.
No. Although it is funny to watch like the re-edits of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they cut out all the talking.
Oh.
So it's just the cards. It's just the card game, none of the dialogue.
I'm sure that'd be a pretty short film. Jeez.
Yeah, no, it is because they'll do like Yugi versus Pegasus, but it's just the card game.
I gotta look that up sometime. I barely remember those, but anyways, what other? Berserk, obviously. Berserk's in my top 10. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, obviously. Shit. Like, I didn't watch a lot of. And Attack on Titan. How could I forget Attack on Titan? And that's gonna be about it. I haven't. Now, I don't consume a lot of media to begin with. I certainly don't watch a lot of Hollywood films. If you've asked me, have I seen this movie or that movie? The answer is probably no.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But the thing is, Frieren was highly refreshing because it actually portrayed the human-looking demons as actually fucking psychopathic. Like, you can't trust them, because there's been so many like light novels and animes where the demons are just like magical humans who are persecuted because of the stigma of being demons, or they live in another dimension, but they're totally people that you can fucking talk to, and they're humans, and the humans are fucking evil for like persecuting them for bullshit reasons. Like the new fucking Devil May Cry bullshit, where they're just misunderstood humans. Now, Freerin is one that actually portrays demons as actual fucking demons, like things that you cannot trust, you cannot rely on, and they will say and do fucking anything to survive, and the only weakness is their pride. But that bit right there, that bit with the whole, like, why do demons cry mommy? It's like, it's because it's a word that stops humans from killing them. Like, that's what these phrases are with women to me. Like, I hear them, and it's like, you are just saying that because it has you win the argument. It immediately gets you sympathy. It gets you support. It doesn't have to be true. You don't even, like, you'd say that even if you didn't understand the fucking words, which I've interacted with enough women to know that they'll easily use words they don't understand. Like, they'll hear a fucking phrase or a word, and then they'll try to use it later on with no understanding of the actual context or meaning.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what a lot of this was about, but the judge didn't buy that.
Because the judge is a woman and knows it. But guaranteed, if the judge had been a man, these guys would have been absolutely fucked.
I would have loved to have put like a very sensitive parabolic mic up to her when the victim was like testifying as to what all the guys were doing to her. She was probably flicking her bean to it.
Well, no, and God, that's the other thing. You look at women's fucking romance. Like, I saw this one meme comparison. Like, you compare, like, what is the male fucking erotic fantasy versus the female erotic fantasy? And, like, what's the male fantasy? Oh, like, yeah, he's got multiple women, but he fucking loves and cares and supports them all and helps them all through their hard times. What's the woman's? She's married to a goddamn psychopath who basically abuses the shit out of her.
I would say the male fantasy is like the Japanese have a word for it, isn't it? Isekai?
Well, no, isekai...
Like, isn't that just a pure male fantasy?
No, isekai translates...
It's like, oh, I get a bunch of superpowers and save the world.
No. The isekai just means in another world. Like, it's the subgenre of transported to another world, period.
Oh, I thought it was a reference to like a coming of age story, or like a. I thought isekai animes were usually like male teenage protagonists that like grow up, that have to like mature. I thought that's maybe I'm thinking of a different word. But whatever.
Isekai like literally translates to another world. That's what it's just in the title of so many light novels. So like isekai smartphone is in another world with my smartphone.
Oh shit. Yeah. See. Okay. Again, I am definitely not a weeb. I watch some anime because sometimes it looks really cool, and I do appreciate good art and a good story. But so many animes are not that. Yeah,
no, it's hard. Like, I've read.
Although Redo of Healer is definitely
Yeah, no, Redo of Healer is pretty based.
Oh, so like I just saw someone jumped in.
Yeah. Oh shit! Is that Chronic?
What's up, Chronic? Whatever. He's figuring stuff out. Okay.
Yeah, he's
anyways, back to the story here. This story is a very important lesson for everyone. You could take all of the steps, every single fucking step towards securing your consent. Videotaping her, taking to a public place, being in a hotel where there's surveillance cameras and witnesses. And still, 7 years this took for them to get found not guilty. 7 fucking years.
And
these guys went through hell.
And that's the thing. And this wasn't just a random 7 years. These were junior hockey players. Their fucking
they got
sports
suspended from the NHL.
That's the thing. Their sports careers literally shuffled off during the years when they were going to be at their physical peak. These were literally the best years of their careers taken away from them.
Because, if you do the math, most of them would have been 18 when this occurred. It'd be 25 right now.
That's the thing. Like 18 to 25, professional hockey. And they lost out
Oh,
on all of those years.
you might have to give Chronic the permission to speak in here.
Oh, okay. Let me.
I'll take over while you're doing that. But so all of the steps they took would be what any normal person would be like, yeah, that's how I keep myself safe. These are the steps I could take. That video was meaningless to the question of consent. In law, you can't consent to a future act, and you can't retroactively consent to an act that occurred before. And you saw the videos were shot an hour apart, and they weren't actively engaged in sexual acts while the videos were running, because that would just be porn. So that video, in terms of validating the consent, had no value.
All
What
right, yeah, I think
the
I'm
hell
now.
are you supposed to do to be able to protect yourself? What better steps could
Go
you
monk
have
mode.
done?
Go monk
So,
mode.
Chronic.
Yeah, then he's right. Go monk mode.
I mean, if you want a
Yeah.
100% guarantee you're not going to get destroyed, you just don't associate with women. Now, how old are these guys? Like 15, 16?
18.
18. It would have been 18-year-olds.
18? Okay, yeah. What kind of chick is going to like try to bang a bunch of 18-year-old hockey players? Think about the kind of chick that
Like
would,
literally every
know.
chick on the planet, especially future,
no,
like future NHL stars.
Okay, future NFL. Okay, but let's just assume a youth hockey
No,
league,
no
right?
women
Youth
of
hockey
value, like no fucking like church going women who want
Yeah,
to save
hockey
themselves
schools.
for
Yeah, hockey
marriage and
schools.
have big families. Like
Like
The
loosest
equivalent
chicks
of
in
a
the high
barracks
school.
bunny for an army base.
Yeah, like the loosest chicks in the high school. That's who goes for the hockey guys. They get run through by the entire team. They're like slap
Oh.
shotting that puniti in the locker room. Yeah, these kind of
Yeah.
chicks, they're very dangerous.
Do you know about this story?
No, I was just listening for the last like 2 minutes.
Okay, so
I got the
I'll
gist
do
of
like
it.
a
They
one.
got accused-
I'll
they
do a
got
1
falsely
second.
accused that they took 7 years to get through it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So the World Juniors in Canada is like the elite hockey players, right? These are future NHL stars.
Well, it's even worse, Canadians, and because hockey's like the big deal in Canada.
yeah,
Yes, it
Like
is.
NFL, it's like
This is the equivalent to. You remember the story of Russell Wilson's wife?
she got passed around so much, and then his simp
Yeah.
married her.
Yep. So it's kind of like so that situation would be very similar to hockey players here in Canada. Same dynamics. Anyways, so these guys, they're named to the World Junior Hockey Team. Of course, they have national coverage, like wall-to-wall coverage. Everyone knows their names. They're very famous. They go to a golf tournament sometime in the summer. I think it was 2018, the date was. And they meet a girl at a bar. And the girl's like, hey, bring me back to your hotel room. Let's hook up. And then while they're hooking up, she's like, hey, do you got some friends you could invite in? And these 5 players all run a train on her. And they videotape her. And she's like, yeah, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, okay with all this. And yeah, I give my consent. She accused them of rape. And it took them 7 years to clear their names.
Yeah, well, no surprise there. I mean, it's Canada. It's the feminist court system.
Hey, I explained this at the top of the show. Y'all need to pay attention to what happens in Canada because it's 4 years from happening in America. In fact, this story probably has already happened in America many times.
Like I see Canada as like a cultural like future for like Minneapolis, for like San Francisco, California. There are a lot of similarities between the weak, soft white liberals in Toronto and the weak, soft white liberals in Minneapolis. They both import tons of like third worlders, and they're shocked that you can't go swimming in the lake because there's too much human fecal matter in the lake. Well, there's shit in the lake. Like they have public health warnings, like don't swim in this lake. There's too much human fecal matter. It's like, huh, interesting. How did that happen? But
no,
I mean,
clearly, clearly climate change caused it.
it's climate change. Climate change is causing all these people to flee to Canada. Wait a second. If the climate change is causing climate change refugees and it's going to be the West's fault and Canada and the US are going to have problems, what about the ice caps melting causes the NGOs to pay for Patel's flight over to Toronto. How does that connect? Because we could just leave him in India, right?
Yeah. Actually, the ice cap melting will be very consequential to Canada, but to an extent, the U.S. too. The Northwest Passage will become transitable, which is the other way to cross the continent other than the Panama Canal.
Well, yeah, here's my thing. Like, if they're gonna say, like, oh, you know, like, we need to punish people doing all the climate change. Okay, well, the top fucking producers of CO2 emissions are China and India. So, first of all, we can send the Indians back fucking home so they can deal with their own bullshit. And hell, I'm totally fine with sending all our fucking climate refugees to China.
I saw a stat, and it said that 80% of the plastic refuse in the world's oceans come from 7 rivers, all in Asia.
Yeah, I've heard that statistic.
Yeah, and the idea, it's funny. It's really just different groups of the left fighting for different things, right? It's like it's like the mental illness, like Captain Planet kind of thing. Like each little leftist has a different kind of mental illness. One hates men, one hates white people, one thinks the world's ending climate change, and one, thinks that, and one, we had the GDPers, right? Mud GDP, they're kind of the powers that be. They want more GDP so they can buy more yachts and touch more kids on islands. They argue that the West produces the most CO2 because we have the highest standard of living, and that we need to reduce our CO2 output, while at the same time importing millions of third worlders who come in and produce a shit ton of CO2. Like, you can't tell Westerners to stop having kids because it's bad for the environment, while also opening the door to Kush Patel and Chunjabi to come in and burn up just as much CO2. It's ridiculous. But any group of left, you could choose any two things, like the pro LGBT and the Muslims. You can choose the communists and the GDPers. You can choose the feminists and like the leftist dude bros. There's just infinite options to really, they're all opportunities we can use to put a wedge in them and make them eat each other. It's glorious, and it's really the best thing to do. Like, whenever I debate with a leftist, I kind of find out which particular mental illness they have, and I'll just adopt the mental illness leftist position to make them look like a bigot. That's the way you do it.
You need to find out exactly what species of leftists they are, and give them a reason to predate them.
You get like when I debated the bread tubers are like, I'm a masculine man that just thinks that we should tax the rich, and I'm just like, I find out they're homophobic, and I just nail that. I'm like, well, what's wrong with gay people? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why you think being gay is a bad thing. And because I'm not going to make them lose their fans by being right wing. Their fans hate me because I'm right wing. I'm going to make them lose fans by proving that they're a bigot to a percentage of their fans that are that particular ideology.
Yeah, the one thing you can't nail them on, though, is they'll openly embrace the anti-Semitism portion. Now, I don't go around sipping for Israel as a rule of thumb, but I sometimes like to exaggerate my support for Israel just to use it against.
Off their back. Like, they'll say we don't dislike Jewish people. We just dislike the state of Israel. And then their activists will just kick the shit out of Jewish people on college campuses, and they'll be like, well, they're just fighting for the Palestinians. They're not anti-Semitic. I mean, that's really what right-wingers have to do. Like, you get called racist. It's like, I'm not racist. I'm just fighting for the rights of just choose whatever topic it is. I'm fighting for the rights of the unborn. I'm fighting for the rights of black people with guns. I'm fighting for the rights of rich Indians not to get taxed so much. Like, whatever it is, you just got to be like a newt, when it comes to these debates. Now these debates.
Oh, Jesse Lee Peterson is legendary for that. When he talks about illegal immigration, why do you support the immigrants taking black people jobs?
No, I mean, I support immigration. I just have very strict criteria for who I want to immigrate to the country. I'm down for unlimited immigration. Now, here's the standards: 18 to 24, under a BMI of 26, and a female, unmarried. If we let in as many unmarried, fit women, young women as possible, you would see white Canadian women goose-stepping in the street demanding mass deportation.
Absolutely.
You might also see a bunch of men putting on dresses, like what happened in Ukraine.
Oh well, and the idea that that did happen in Ukraine. They put on dresses, they just hump the border. I'm fine with it. I think any Ukrainian that bleeds for his country is a cuckold. I have no respect
Oh
for
yeah.
that. Like you're bleeding for a country that is run by women who voted you into war. There's a there's a viral video. They really like they've been taking it down, but it's on 4chan. They used to be on Twitter, but then the powers to be don't want people to see it. And it's this village in the Ukraine, and they had like 30% of their young men draft eligible, like in the army, and they said we need to raise it to 50% to show that we're patriots. And they passed this like ordinance saying that every eligible young man's going to be drafted, and the village is going to work with the Ukrainian army to do so. And in the room, this little town hall, it's like 90% old women. It's all a bunch of old women that watch like the boomer esque mainstream media all day, and they all vote and they're all cheering. And this young dude walks in and he just starts throwing grenades in this like basically classroom sized building and just kills all. I think he died too, but he just started throwing grenades at them because like
Oh, real grenade. I thought you meant verbal grenades.
no, he literally, this dude just walks in the middle and he starts chucking grenades. And it's funny because he's like, old women don't really even know it. Like, they have no, like, they're sending these men to die. And this dude walks in, starts throwing grenades, like tossing them. And they don't even react. They're like looking around and then it starts blowing up and the camera cuts. But yeah, that dude basically yoinked his entire, like, I guess, local town politic. That guy's a hero. That guy's a hero.
Yeah. That's based Ukrainian Chad right there. It's funny. Side note: I do actually personally know someone who was killed in the volunteer corps of Ukraine,
Was he
and
a
one of the
monk?
things that no,
He just
just
wanted to get some combat.
I think he just wanted to shoot people.
You don't need to join the
I,
Ukrainian army to do that, you pussy.
but and he was enlisted in the Canadian military, and so I mean he had you know what? I can't say. I didn't know this guy well enough to tell you why he went. I know a lot of us, when his body got returned and everything, and we all sat down for drinks at like a Polish club or whatever. I know we kind
I
of
won't be able to. I won't be able to keep my face straight, dude. I respect to you and respect to your friends secondhand. But like, if I knew some guy that did that, like, I would be clowning on the dude. You-
well, that's kind of what
Ukraine,
happened after we get like 6 or 7 drinks deep, and we're just kind of like, what did he die for? And then
he
we're
died
just
for it's like a open U.S. corruption money laundering operation. There's no country Ukraine. It's just a giant money laundering operation for the U.S.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what we all came up with. Like this group that we all ran around are fucking red pilled as shit. Some of them are even black pilled. Like there's a couple of monks in our group. They've
Yeah,
got
I
full
mean, I don't
monk
know.
mode.
I guess it depends on what you consider monk and what you don't. Yeah, because the monks that I know, they're usually older men that are wise. They're not like, they don't carry the black pill stigma of like it never began. They're more just like, I find purpose outside of women. Like, I think there's a difference
You're
between a
right. It
dude.
is rare.
I
It is rare
think
to find that in someone under the age of well, and I mean I'm
I
not
think
as
being a
young
monk is.
anymore.
I think being a monk is like there's the assumption that there's a possibility of getting a chick, you know? Whereas like being black pill incel is like you can get over it, but you're kind of in your headspace like I'm never gonna be able to get one anyhow.
Yeah, that it equally would describe. Like I got two people in my mind right now that could both could equally describe them. Because labels don't work very well, especially at the individual level, right?
They're
Like you
good
group
for
people
generalizing.
into
Yeah,
hell,
they're good for
to try and
generalizing.
say like, oh, well, they think this way, but
Yeah, like
anyways,
when I'll say like they're good for generalizing, so I say like the black pill is wrong, right? But what does that mean? The black pillars would be like, "Are you saying that women don't care about height?" And my response is, "Are you saying that everybody who thinks that height is important is black pill? Because that means 95% of the population is black pill, which is fucking retarded." Like,
yeah,
it's like it's a group of beliefs and like action. Like, where do you go from it? Because red pill, black pill, they agree on some basic facts, like what's attractive to women, how do women see men, how do women act in the sexual marketplace. But black pill goes on. It's just like, well, hey, you have these certain parameters of whatever it is, and there's not a chance at all you should give up. And at some point, like, look, if some dude in a wheelchair that's like 3'2" and 300 pounds and can't speak, and he's like slobbering on his little like touch to speak pad, says he's black pill and it's over for him. Yeah, it's over for him. But you see dudes like kind of find a community in these spaces, like a 5'8" dude that makes like 40 or 50K a year. It's like it's over because I'm like Indian, or it's over because like my jaw isn't that good. It's like I disagree. I think they have a chance. I'm not saying that they need to do that because it's going to take a lot of work. And if a dude says, "Hey, I'm 5'7", or let's say I'm 5'4", I make decent money, but I have to go to the gym for 30 hours a week. I have to, go to school and be a virgin for 10 years and like not date and make all this to finally make all this money. And at the age of 34, I'll be attractive enough to get a blown out chick that's like 28 with a body count of 20. I don't want to do that. She's not worth that. I completely agree. She's not worth that. It's a lot of work. The work isn't worth it. But saying that even if I do the work, it's not worth it. These black pill dudes, like I've never met one that curled more than 40 pounds, ever.
Yeah,
Like,
in that case,
it won't work. We'll get ripped and then come back to me.
yeah, no, in this case, maybe I misspoke when labels aren't very convenient in that regard.
Yeah.
This guy absolutely curls more than 40 pounds. He can outlift me, and I've said my maxes before. I don't need to say them again, but
is he just socially like retarded? He's not taught to women.
no, not really. He got burned, and one of the easiest pipelines to becoming black pilled is like surviving a near rape allegation.
Okay, so he had sex with this chick and then she accused him or almost accused him.
Yeah, it was like threatening to go to the cops or whatever, and I think nothing came of it. But I think
there's a difference when it comes to language, right? Saying I'm black pill versus I'm black pilled. Because like you could be black pilled on a bunch of different stuff. So like if he deals with that, he's like women aren't worth it. I'm not particularly sure I'd call him black pill. Like you could say that to even MGTOW. It's a natural reaction to protect yourself.
Yeah, and anyways, just labels are very inconvenient, anyways. But we often have to talk that way just because of fucking, because if I start naming, then
I think they're useful as long as the people you're talking with don't like have a super hard attachment to defend it or to like deny it, right? Because there's a set of beliefs that black pill believes in, a set of beliefs that red pill believes in, and they overlap. And some black people or some black pill people will be considered red pill, and some red pill people could be considered black pill and everything. But once you get closer in these groupings, the labels don't work as well. You just talk about your beliefs. But if we're talking to like a normie or a Bernie bro or a bread tuber, like if a bread tuber calls me like a red pillar, like I don't really hold on to that title, but I understand it's convenient for him to kind of think like that. That's why I call him a dirty communist. And they go, look, I'm not a communist, I'm a socialist. Well, I'm like, no, I'm a socialist. I'm a national socialist.
Just call them a PDF file.
Not a socialist at all. Well, yeah, they say incel, they say racist, I say pedophile, I say Satanist. It's just, these are just words we use to make each other feel bad. But, I don't really feel bad about getting called an incel by a bread tuber because, well, I have a lot of videos on my hard drive that I can go through. But, I call them a pedophile or Satanist. Like, how do you prove you're not a pedophile? Exactly. It really hurts. And the left is very female based, like it's very feminine minded, and so when you use shaming language on them, it's like super effective. Like the way you get, go on, Gray.
Well, that's the easiest way to figure out like what hurts them. What do they think hurts people? Because that's what hurts them. Because they don't see outside of their own mentality.
And some of my longer debates, and I keep on saying this, it's hard to get people to be willing to debate me again. You can kind of hear at the start, I'm like probing in 18 different directions. And once they like recoil at one thing, I just hammer it. I'm just like probing for weaknesses. And sometimes the weaknesses is like, that bread pillar from the UK, he's like, he has kids that he doesn't raise. And I'm like, your kid, I said, your kids are being raised by their mother. You're the single mother raising her alone. Those kids are the kids that get raped by Pakistanis. And he lost his shit, but everything I said was true. The Pakistanis aren't raping kids being raised in a house with their father. They're raping kids being raised in a single mother household. He's like, how dare you? He lost it. I have to find that clip, but it got deleted. But there's a clip of him just like losing his shit for like 3 minutes. but it's me saying that the children of single mothers are more likely to be sexually abused. That's a fact, period. And you can't, it hurts because you can't deny it. Like his kids are being raised by a single mother, and they're in London, and they're surrounded by all these migrants that he wants to come in. What was his name? Chud Logic. Yeah, he disappeared real quick. He had a couple mud debates. All these bread tube, like during COVID, they like all showed up and then they got like 1 strike or 2 strikes, or they got like a bunch of people like being mean to them in Twitter DMs. They all disappeared. I'm like, pussies. You don't know the game.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Internet conked out for a second, so just had to switch to backup.
Nah, just like bread tubers don't stick around very long because it honestly it makes me laugh every time I hear another content creator go like, "Oh, we're being suppressed. We're suppressing the algorithm. YouTube doesn't like us." It's like, y'all do not know the pain of Undead Chronic. Not a single one of you have had to remake your channel even once, let alone 15 fucking times. You do not know this.
Like Stefan Molyneux lost like his Twitter for like 10 years, and he basically flamed out and never came back until now. He's just like, I'm based and I'm back, huh? It's like, no, you're a bald Jewish dude that, is a stay-at-home dad, and you have 1 kid, and you're telling men what to do to live a good life. Like, young men don't want to look up to that. Like, hey, young man, do you want to be a stay-at-home father with a boss bitch wife and have 1 daughter and that's it? Does that sound like, no.
Hashtag life goals.
Well,
Yeah,
same thing with fucking Peterson. It's like, guys, you look at fucking Peterson's life, and you honestly tell me that that's the kind of life you want for yourself? No, I don't think you want that.
Dude, imagine
Well, of course, having a daughter like he does. Oh man, but
Dude, imagine
now
raising a daughter that gets herpes from Andrew Tate. Like, I would like at that point it's like honor eating time. You gotta like pull out your inner Iraqi.
Yeah. But at the same time, too, this is one of those situations where you can separate the message from the messenger, because his life doesn't invalidate everything he says. It validates a lot of it, but not all of it. And I say there are some lessons you can take from him, and
but he's not coming up with
the road to hell is paved with bad intentions, right?
Well,
he did intend to improve lives.
But can
What's
you
the
name?
message he said?
Can you name a single?
Like, clean your room. Guess what? Every fucking mother says that message.
Yeah, like what is an original fucking message Jordan Peterson had?
So he came. Do you remember how he came to prominence in Canada, fighting the pronoun bullshit with the Canadian government, which he referred to as compelled speech?
Yeah, he didn't want to be prosecuted for misgendering people.
Yeah, and so that message is still, and
that's not
but that's not original. That's just what he got popular for. Other people were complaining about that shit too. He was just in a position to actually leverage it to popularity.
And some of the go ahead, Chronic.
He reneged on all that. He was saying that there shouldn't be anonymous accounts on the internet. Well, when you say that, and then you say you should be you shouldn't control my speech at all, like those don't add up. The benzos fried his brain. He got famous. It went to his head. His daughter became globetrotting thought, and like everything he said that kind of meant anything, it's all been destroyed by subsequent messaging.
Yeah, and I've actually attended a couple of his speeches and public talks before.
Wait,
not willingly. I was forced to.
I got a question.
Yeah, go.
How many times did you see him cry?
I've never seen him cry in person.
What?
And I don't watch his content. I'll admit right away, I don't watch any of his like podcasts or anything like that.
We're just crying for no reason. I was hoping that you like saw him cry, like he like sits up and he's like, these frogs, and just starts crying.
No, not that. Anyways, one of the messages that he always gives at his lectures and his public talks and whatever refers to taking care of young men's mental health. He was one of the first people I heard that from, when no one, because the whole mental health thing, it's all for women. Every piece of mass media around mental health is all for women. Agree or disagree?
Mass media, yes.
I mean, they take care. I mean, society takes care of men's mental health only when they flip a lid and they send him to jail.
Okay, so
But you're
Jordan
right. He had a
Peterson would have
he
been
had a
one of the
problem.
first people that was addressing young men's mental health,
I would,
the
I
feeling,
would,
and to be fair, some of his target audience are fatherless young men.
I would say
And
that, I would say that he was one of the first people with a platform that did that, because the people who really been doing that are the people who were getting banned off of YouTube back in 2010, like the old school, like really old school MGTOW guys.
okay, yeah, no, I'd agree with you there. And of course, the fact that he's Canadian almost immediately invalidates anything he says. But like I said,
Well,
I've been able to separate some of the positive
yeah,
from the train wreck that he has become.
yeah. Well, but that's the thing. Is like there's a like this is the difference that I find. It's like there's a difference between this is a good message that was said by Jordan Peterson versus this is a good message because Jordan Peterson said it.
Mm.
Oh, I'd never subscribe to that. No, not
No, but that's the thing.
no.
Like that's where the argument's coming to. Like the people who are like they use like, oh, Jordan Peterson said X, Y, Z, therefore it must be good or based or et cetera, et cetera. It's like no, 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 no. Jordan Peterson
Sipping by proxy.
exactly.
I mean, it's sipping by proxy. These, like I said, his target audience is a bunch of fatherless young men. And of course, when you're raised by chronic, you know this, when you're raised by a single mother, it just absolutely fucks your brain in a way that can't be ever unfucked. And so these men, they'll date women that remind them of their mother. But something they'll do is also simp by proxy.
Yeah, because like here's the, like it's the same. Andrew Tate, does he say
Yep,
some
I was
things
about to
that
bring it
are
up.
factually fucking correct? Sure.
I wouldn't know. I don't listen to him.
Neither do I for the most part, but he has said some things that are true based on the red pill stuff. However, if you're going to say, oh, well, Andrew Tate said this one thing that was true, therefore I should listen to all the things he said that was true and use him as a role model, like, then you look at his fucking career history and go, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This who you want to fucking be?
Basically these frauds like Andrew Tate, they build their credibility by just listening to other content producers and see what like young men react to, and then they say it and they say other people's arguments enough time and they get deluded into thinking these people don't like me because I speak the truth. They like me because it's me. That my message is true because I'm saying it. I was like, no, Andrew Tate, it's not that hard to understand that women like bad boys. Like everybody's been saying that. But now that you think that
Yeah.
you're some genius because you got all these subs, you scam all these people, you say stupid shit like, I want to have sex with a trans woman.
Yeah. Buy my course or buy my book is the first red flag that anyone's talking shit.
I mean, what was it, like 2 streams ago? I covered this lady on YouTube who, for 5 years, she did Fight the Beast. She was like fighting pornography addiction, right? And then this
Oh,
last
yeah.
month, she started to start an OnlyFans, and she's still selling courses on how to stop watching pornography. And right below those courses is a link to her OnlyFans.
I
It's
heard
all
about her. I was listening to what's it called? Who Are These Podcasts? Did a thing on her. That's crazy. When I heard that, I was like, "There's no way.
hilarious. It's
Had to have been
hilarious.
planned."
I was laughing my ass off. I went through her website on stream. It's so funny. She's like, I
It
have so
is.
much love in me, and men are so like beaten down these days. I'm just like, uh-huh. And showing your coochie helps somehow. Like, just
Oh, it's funny. Hey, did you cover the thing that was going on in WNBA? I think that might be the next article we want to go to.
oh my gosh, dude. I was thinking about putting a bet on I was thinking about putting a bet on the color of the phallus that was gonna get thrown. I didn't, and I'm happy I didn't because it ended up being purple next. But there's like crypto bros being like, "This is all planned from our crypto coin." It's just like, no, it's not. You're lying. You just want to go viral for saying that you planned this. I'm like,
Yeah.
these crypto bros are going to do anything, include go to jail to like make some shekels off suckers. Because I'll tell you what, if you wanted to launch a pump coin, and you actually went to an WNBA game and you throw a phallus with the branded like crypto on it, you probably could have made a couple $1,000,000. But these guys didn't have the balls to do that. They just said they did it, and it's like, really? Like, like
You
if you
just pick it
threw
up and it says like crypto
if you
exchange.com on the side.
no, if you threw it and like on it said like buy like because WNBA like buy Dike coin, people would have bought that because it's hilarious, like that's just people would just buy that. But no, they did
Oh
really
my
good.
god. And the reaction to it has been even funnier than the throwing itself.
And dude, like I'm actually somewhat interested in WNBA games now. I
Yeah.
don't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't
I
watch
was like,
it.
you
I
probably
just-
get more viewership for being like, are they gonna throw one today? Are they gonna throw one today? It's like watching a
like
fucking
the
flight
memes
show
have
just
been
for the
hilarious.
crashes.
The memes have been hilarious. Like, like they had a bag ban, so you can't bring in bags. And people were like posting memes of like the Dexter meme where it's like the black guy suspicious. It's just like me going to throw the no, what is it? Like the Anakin one where it's like where it's just like, you mean by this, right? And Anakin just looks at her.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And there's one, God, what was it? It was just like, I'm gonna throw like a dildo like on the WNBA stage, and she's just like, "You're gonna hide it in your coat, right?" Anakin just looked
Oh, I know where you're going with this, and I don't like where you're going with this.
But I think it's
Yeah,
the
like
perfect
memes,
because what are they gonna do? Search it? It's like, sir, that is a strange bulge in your pants. It's like, I'm just really happy to be here, officer.
oh no, it's like
No, Gray, that is not where they're putting it.
yeah. Or there's like a clip of Peter Griffin like walking very gingerly because he has to go take a shit, and people are like getting in his way, punching him. It's just like security trying to stop me walking into the WNBA. Dude, memes have given me more entertainment than any of the WNBA ever. Like, this is happy.
I don't know whether I should respect someone who shoves a dildo up their ass in order to throw it at a WNBA game. I don't know whether I gain respect or lose respect.
I mean, I
I'm
think
conflicted
that
on this one.
I think that we can respect the fucking commitment.
I respect the game, bro. Respect them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have to respect someone willing to go further than I ever would.
1 inch at a time.
I mean, people are saying this is some white incel or whatever, and the first guy to do it was some like chubby 18-year-old Mexican guy. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't deport this one.
Yeah. He can stay. Executive order.
I mean,
Trump
yeah.
pardoned him.
Here's the thing. Like, if you can do the public service of smuggling a green dildo into the WNBA and throwing it on the court, then you get to stay. Like, that is citizenship right there.
Grant immediate citizenship granted.
If you throw a green dildo, you get a green card.
Bingo.
Do you got the article?
Yeah, I got it right here. I can pull it up. We're basically done the other one.
Yeah. I just love like all the reactions they are like the coaches being like, this is so disrespectful. Spurging out.
It's funny because they finally, like, since they got Caitlin Clark, they finally started making money. They signed a deal where they can start making money, and as soon as they sign the deal, they're just like, "Pay us what you owe us." It's just like, here's what you bitches need.
Yeah, here's what we owe you.
Honestly, I think the other thing would be like throwing the bill. It's like, pay us what you owe us. Okay, here's the bill. Here's what you owe.
Here's the credit invoice for how much money you lost.
Yeah, here's how much the fucking actual NBA has to fucking pay to keep your asses on television.
They have it now that with the new like NBA game, you can play WNBA people with NBA. So there's like clips of LeBron and Caitlin Clark playing together, or like Caitlin Clark dunks on LeBron. It's just stupid. It's so funny.
Well, I mean, oh god, I remember when they had a fucking Nintendo basketball game on the GameCube, and you could play as like Mario and whatnot, but Mario is actually given like a canonical height, and he's like 4 foot bullshit. So, and then you have him playing on the same thing as like fucking Michael Jordan or whatever. And it was a fun game. It's like 3D.
Yeah, I never liked basketball. I wasn't good at it. It's one of those things where like, even like you get some game, like I'm not good at soccer, but I'll fuck around and play soccer and it's fun. Not basketball. I have no fun playing basketball. Like, even if it's just like a game of horse, like I fucking hate basketball.
Do
My
you
brother was
would you pay $100 to go see a game where LeBron just puts on a wig and says he's trans and plays a WNBA game, just like fucking blocking every shot?
I mean, honestly, like, what kind of tickets am I getting?
Yeah, I would say third row. You don't want to be too close, lest you smell the cooch.
Could I get one? Because would I want to pay any money? No, because it's basketball. But like, if you went to a game where LeBron said he was a woman and he was just posterizing bitches left and right, and you were like live streaming it and TikToking it, you could probably make a couple $100,000 just making jokes.
Here's the thing. I guess the real question is, how much would you pay for a highlight reel of LeBron at that game?
Oh no, not the highlight. Like,
no, because here's the thing: if you had a fucking 10-minute compilation of LeBron James just fucking humiliating and bodying the entire WNBA, and you sold that video for like $5 a piece, you might actually make the WNBA profitable.
Yeah, the WNBA would make money on it. What I'm wondering too is, you remember that story of the trans volleyball player that spiked a ball and broke a chick's face?
She laughed.
If I could get, I would want that to happen. If LeBron like blocks a shot straight into someone's face, and it just
there's WNBA players who are clearly trans. They're trans women. Like, they don't have tits, and like what was her name? Brittany Griner. Not Brittany. Is it Brittany Griner? I forget. But there's
Brittany Griner, the one that got traded for the Lord of War.
The one that went to Russia. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think they were thinking about putting her in a male prison. It's like, why is that?
No reason at all, Chronic. Obviously, that's just blatant racism.
I mean, there's a reason. I can't put my finger on it. Anyhow, yeah, it's just whatever. I mean, women's sports have been. I mean, they never really started. The only women's sports that get any traction is like Olympic sand volleyball and like sometimes women's soccer. But it used to be
audio only of women's curling. Audio only of women's curling and women's tennis is acceptable. In curling, they have to yell. For the strength of the sweepers, they'll just yell, "Hurry, hard!"
We were in a weird
I mean,
spot.
that could be hot.
I mean,
we were in a weird spot in like 2014 to like 2022, I would say. Where I'm probably 2023, where women's sports were over, but also they had nowhere to be sexy and make money. Besides OnlyFans, I'm saying like like modeling, beauty pageants. It was all trans women everywhere. So like the only way women could get attention was OnlyFans.
Honestly, like I'd say like figure skating. Like I'd say like
I dated a couple of figure skating chicks before. They are delicious. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, no, like my family's been heavily involved in figure skating on the female side, so yeah, no, I got exposed to figure skating. You know what? Like that can stick around. Female figure skaters, that's like
honestly like top like 2 or 3 body types I find attractive. Figure skating chicks, yeah. Ballerinas, absolutely.
The only way I'd watch the female, the women's hockey league is if they allowed trans men to complete and there was body checking. God, probably wouldn't that be so much fun to watch? You remember that one? What was it in rugby? That one trans chick in Australia that's like 6'4" and 250 pounds, just demolishing women. God, that would be fun to watch.
Well, now you don't now with the breakdown of society, you don't even need the excuse to be trans. You just watch men beat bitches' asses for no reason, anyhow. And no guy, like usually a guy will come in and defend them, but now it's like no dudes feel obligated to do so.
Yeah, but what do you think? Is this going to be a thing going forward, or is it one and done? The throwing of the dildos onto the court.
I think the memery made it like advance, but I think it's pretty much done now.
That's unfortunate. Oh well, fade back to his obscurity where you belong.
I mean, I'm hoping they throw like pocket pussies during actual NBA games. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I just don't think they probably have maybe once before, but no one made a big deal about it. They just kick it aside and they're like, whatever. Go on with your life.
It's the reaction that really makes it go.
Yeah, because there was
Oh,
a hockey game. A chick threw a.
the first time it happened, the camera like zoomed in on it and held for like 2 seconds. It's so funny.
Well, it's not like
The
there was
ref
anything else
like,
to
"Oh my
watch.
god!"
I remember in a hockey game, one chick threw her bra onto the ice after a guy scored, and they just picked it up and went on with their day. The only way you would know is if you actually watched it happen, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that time a chick threw her bra on the ice." Like you're right. It is the reaction that makes it funny, and
Yeah.
I don't know if this article has some of the quotes from the players and the coaches, but the reactions have been
He just worked so
insane.
hard to get here, and to get disrespected by men proves that this country has a lot more work to do. That's probably most of the reactions. There you go. Just make it up.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that
no.
quote from the crypto guys. Oh, that's sick and disgusting. We didn't do this because we dislike women's sports.
Or
That's
like
disgusting.
some of the narratives that are trending right now are ridiculous. He said creating disruption at games is like it happens in every single sport, right? We see it in the NFL, we see it in hockey. You know, fans doing random things to more or less create attention. Okay, you know, could this be like the WNBA equivalent of the hat trick then? Like if they
Or the Gordie Howe hat trick. The Gordie Howe hat trick.
I think they just consider it home court advantage. That should be part of the game.
Well, I mean, like, imagine that. Imagine, like, woman pulls a fucking slam dunk and immediately is like, okay, everyone, throw the dildos out.
Honestly, if there was there is enough money in this world to pay a flash mob to just, like, yeah. Do you remember when the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup and people started throwing rats? I don't know, Chronic, do you watch hockey at all?
I think I saw a video of that. They're throwing like dead rats.
Oh, they're just like plastic or rubber rats or whatever. But
No, someone threw an actual rat.
Oh,
I saw a
yeah.
video of someone actually throwing like not alive, but like I think it was dead or really injured, but like someone threw a fucking like animal on the stage. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And of course there's the tradition in Detroit where they always throw an octopus onto the ice. But anyways, with the Panthers, they give out these like plastic or rubber rats or whatever. There's a story behind it. I don't need to go into that, but they just like cover the ice in these like plastic toys. There is a sum of money that you could pay a flash mob, because it's not like there's anyone else at those games, right? And just like get 1,000 people in there and they just all huck a dildo over the net, because they put up like protective safety netting now.
Well, you had to have it planned. So like the first wave of dildos thrown had to be like covered in razors to cut through the net. And then the second volley can go, you know?
Yeah. It's like having lines of cavalry. All right. First wave, go. Oh man. God, that would be.
Thanks for letting me just jump in right on my. I didn't even know you were streaming. I thought you were just talking to your boys on your Discord channel.
No, actually streaming. This is the one I use for streams, but it's always good to have you on.
Cool. Well, hey, you guys have a good stream. I like talking to you. What's up, Green Money? I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right, peace out.
The real Undead Chronic, except no substitutes.
Indeed. Don't get much better than the original Green Grigga. Yeah, two arrests. Like disorderly conduct, public indecency / indecent exposure. Is throwing a dildo indecent exposure?
Oh man, and you know what? That would land you on a sex offender registry too. Could you imagine? What is it? There's like a disclosure law. What the hell's name? What's the name of it again? Where you have to like tell people that you're a registered sex offender?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm thinking like I've seen
Ashley's Law or something.
I don't know. Like I've seen fucking worse. Here's the thing. Like you can pull off worse shit than this at a goddamn pride parade, and no one can fucking touch you. Like
no one wants to touch you. God damn.
Yeah. Okay, that too. But and here's the thing. And there's videos on YouTube of like worse shit than this, and that shit's deemed acceptable. but you throw it on the court at a fucking WNBA, and now you're being charged with indecent exposure. Like, look, unless he had his actual fucking Johnson out, no.
Yeah, apparently the article says that the Mexican guy Lopez who threw it hit like a guy and his 9-year-old niece who were watching the game.
I mean,
still,
okay,
it's a piece of plastic.
So like silicone, yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Like it's again, I wouldn't be so upset if it wasn't for the double standard. Like if the standard was this kind of stuff is just wrong and it was treated as wrong across the board, I'd be like, okay, like fine, like it's standardized. It's like what's acceptable and what's not, and this crossed the line. But it's when no. In this context, it's bad. But in a different context, that same thing would be seen as acceptable. Because here's the thing: like if a Pride Parade marcher threw out a dildo and it hit like a 9-year-old on the sidewalk, that person would not get charged with indecent exposure.
Probably not. No. Assault,
probably not. No.
Assault with a weapon. Assault with a weapon, possibly.
Okay. If that, if they got charged with anything at all and didn't just get immediately let off the hook.
Yeah, in the U.S. it'd be a battery.
Yeah, again, if they get charged at all. But like we've seen plenty of people commit what are like very clearly crimes, and then the judge has like let them out with the minor slap on the wrist, if any charge at all. Imagine if it were a woman who threw the dildo. Well, that's the other thing too. Like, guy throws a dildo, it's misogyny. Woman throws it, it'd probably just be seen as a harmless prank. Or, like, maybe even a sign of support.
There are moments like these where I believe we live in the greatest timeline.
I mean, I'd argue at least the most interesting timeline.
Like, who... You know, our parents would have grown up in the 70s, 60s, maybe, depending on how old you are, how old your parents are. Could they even fathom this situation?
No, that's the thing. And let's be honest. If we went back 15 years, like, these are articles so unbelievable, you wouldn't eat, like, The Onion would not publish them.
They'd be like, we're supposed to be satire, which means we have to be at least believable.
That's the thing. It's like, what's the difference between truth and fiction? Fiction has to be believable.
So,
like,
I like the question there. Are WNBA players being targeted?
I mean, I don't know of any other sports event or any event really where there has been 6 different incidents of throwing a dildo into a public area.
Oh yeah, there's where I wanted to see what are the players and coaches saying. You're gonna have some beautiful quotes. Let's read some of these.
It's super disrespectful. I don't really get the point of it. It's really immature. Whoever's doing it needs to grow up.
Is this not the most basic bitch phrase or statement that you've ever heard? Like, replace throwing a dildo on a WNBA court with literally anything that you've done in your life, and that sentence would still have been said by any woman.
Like you could have just been like fucking, like if you were playing on your fucking Nintendo Switch in the stands, this statement would have still applied.
When I said earlier that I was what speed I got my car up to, and there's just some woman standing on the side of the highway, she would have said the exact same thing.
I was like, it's ridiculous, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's also dangerous. You know, player safety is number one, respecting the game, all those things. Again, like you could say the same thing about literally any sports tradition that has involved throwing something on the ice. Like any hockey tradition, like again, like fucking hat trick. Oh, scored 3 goals in a row. People throw their hats on the ring in celebration. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's stupid. Or, I mean, like, let's be honest. Any of the fucking things that came out of the bloody Minecraft movie. Like, I still don't know the full context behind the whole chicken jockey thing. All I know is that, like, people go nuts and, like, throw popcorn or some shit. Because, like...
Yeah.
But it's
I mean,
it's
I'm
like
not 5. I don't give a shit.
okay, yeah, but it's also like The Room. Like people have like fucking. There's a point in watching theatrical releases of The Room where you're supposed to throw toast or some shit. Like, okay,
I don't know. um, there has to be a prize if you throw one of those and it lands in a player's mouth. Like you deep throat her with it. There has to be a prize that you get for doing that.
I don't think they're gonna aim for the throat. If I'm being honest, I think they're gonna aim somewhere else.
I mean, in terms of places you could target, the throat would be the most conceivable,
I think that
improbable.
I think that honestly, I think that like if you could get it to go down like the back of her pants, that would probably be.
Well, you certainly couldn't get it to go in their cleavage because Lord knows none of these chicks have tits.
Yeah, no.
So
It's like
no, if you could land it, like if you can make it land in her mouth, you should just win life. They should just gift you an island in the middle of the ocean and more money than God himself.
well, I hear that one island has freed up somewhat recently because the owner passed away. So I would have picked it up and thrown it right back.
I would certainly bring like a witch doctor, like a voodoo, whatever. You know what? What was that Disney movie with the voodoo witch doctor? It was like set in New Orleans.
Like Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Dr. Facilier.
Dr. Facilier, yes. Get him out there. Just get someone to dress up like him and fly him out to that island to do a bunch of rituals and whatever.
I don't
clean
think
the place up.
I don't think his thing was less cleaning the place up and more so make like bargaining with the dark spirit. So I don't think that's the guy you want out there.
Oh no! I disagree. Do you think there would be no dark spirits there?
Oh no, I just don't think that you want to bring the guy who's gonna like set up his own fucking criminal empire with the dark spirits. I think you want the guy who actually has a job of getting rid of them.
Well, you're not you're not going to be able to get rid of them. You need someone who can like buy them off and be like, hey look, we're cool, right? Yeah, you're cool. Yeah, we're cool. We're cool. We can
okay,
live together.
Fair enough. If you need like a I guess yeah, if you need a negotiator, then yeah, he's the guy for you.
Yeah, because I mean, if you bring a priest to the island, he's just gonna like ignite immediately. Or get turned on. I mean, well, they're not. I guess it wasn't boys there, so.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Mostly young girls. So you know, you just gotta you keep them away from like. So you can't bring redditors out there.
By the way, I did see we got a chat in Rumble, not a super chat, just a regular chat in Rumble. So there are a couple people watching on Rumble. Shout out to the Rumble crowd.
Oh hell yeah! Viewers on Rumble, nice. See ya.
We see you guys. I see ya.
Aftermath Bio, nice.
But I think we're done with this story. Is there any other funny? Oh, I want to read the rest of the quotes here.
Yeah, so I would have picked that thing up and thrown it right back at them. It's like, good luck figuring out which one threw it. I mean, maybe the population density of your stands is so bad that there's only one person on one side, but.
Also, she thinks that she would have a chance at like throwing it that far. I've seen them throw. I've seen those scores in their games. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
I guarantee we could give them a fucking soccer net as their goal, and they still wouldn't score consistently.
Oh man, I want to make that now. Isn't there like a like a betting, I guess a FanDuel betting on like Angel Reese missing her first shot of the game?
I have no idea. I do not pay any attention to the WNBA.
Oh, I only pay attention to the memes. I like the articles like is throwing the sex toys misogyny?
I mean, here's the thing. I think it would be more insulting if you threw it on a male game. Like,
Yeah,
imagine,
but no one
like,
would give a shit. No one would give a shit. They just kick it to the side and be like, "Okay, go on. Don't draw attention to it. Whatever. Fuck you guys." It wouldn't be the first time something's been
yeah,
thrown onto a court.
that is true. But I could, yeah, that's the thing. It would be, I think it'd be funny if, like, you're right. You know what? Let's go for some equality. If someone misses like a fucking penalty shot free throw, then like someone throws a fucking dildo on it. It's like, okay.
um,
That, like, honestly,
there
guys would
are.
probably
Oh,
they'd probably laugh at it. To be honest, they'd probably just laugh it off and be like, "Oh shit, that's funny."
we got to read that Cosmopolitan quote.
And I'll read it. And I quote, there are good people paying good money to attend a professional, quote unquote, basketball game just to throw a sex toy at the player's feet. Why? To send a message to tell women that they don't belong on the court, that their athleticism isn't as valuable as their sexuality. So telling them the truth. This is misogyny, plain and simple. They don't care about what women deserve. They deserve nothing. These people will cost a shit ton of money and provide nothing of value. They don't care about what women deserve or how disgusting and violating their actions are. It's time for NBA players to stand in solidarity with their female counterparts and call this behavior what is unacceptable, sexist, and detrimental to the entire sport. The WNBA is way more detrimental to the entire sport.
I love that they just go with the assumption that they threw a sex toy because they want to tell women they don't belong on the court.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
yeah. I think that's more so like you realize you don't belong on the court. You realize that women don't belong on the court. You realize they fucking suck, but now you're just trying to blame it as someone else. Oh, someone else thinks that, and they're wrong. It's like, no, they never said that. No one said that in context of this. You said that
Yeah.
because you know it to be true.
Number one, it's funny. And we all know that the level of the sense of humor in that demographic is non-existent.
Well, when they're not the ones doing it.
Yeah, right. It's funny first and foremost. Second of all, watching this entire thing take place is more entertainment than the entirety of the WNBA has ever provided to anyone.
Yeah, like pretty sure
That's
like,
what the message is. That's what the message is.
Yeah, like the actual because then they play at the skill level of like 14-year-olds because 15-year-olds can beat them, so they play at the skill level of 14-year-old boys. And no one watches 14-year-old boys play basketball except for their parents. So,
oh yeah, I would absolutely agree that that's the entirety of the crowd at WNBA games is like these girls' husbands, God save their souls, and like their family members, maybe their sisters, their nieces, possibly their kids, but it's family and personal friends, and that's why they sell 100 seats.
yeah, probably because like they handed out the fucking tickets for free. It's like, here, take your kids to a fucking sports game. Here's a free ticket. Why? Well, you can either take this ticket for free, or you can go to an actual NBA game for $500 fucking dollars. Yeah, you're gonna take.
Yeah, and they absolutely do hand the tickets out for free. Every sport does this. Athletes are allotted, especially for home games. They're allowed. They could say like, "Oh yeah, my mom wants to come to the game," and the team will pay for it. That's absolutely a thing. So, you'll never get this info because they only go by, we scanned this many tickets. That means we sold them all, because they don't track internally how many tickets were given away for free. Same thing with concerts too. Like if you ever do the math, the tickets they sold to a concert usually doesn't add up to what the money they raised is, because the promoter will give tickets to radio stations for free.
Yeah, or like when they're trying to promote a video game that's a flop, they'll be like, "Oh, this is how many concurrent players. This is how many players we had for the game." It's like, okay, but how many of those were from fucking Xbox Game Pass, and how many of those were actual copies sold?
Yeah. So, and even then, I know I stopped playing Call of Duty for a few years now, but they're having a big player retention problem, so they don't even publish. Because I remember in Modern Warfare 2, they would show like, oh, this number of players are currently online. They don't show that anymore. Gee, I wonder what happened. Maybe because the number is pathetically small.
Well, actually, funny thing on that, I was looking to scratch. Like, I really enjoyed Battlefield 1 back in the day, so I was looking to scratch that itch. But then, like, the fucking queue times were goddamn horrendous. I was like, fuck it. What else is there? And I got introduced to Hell Let Loose. And, okay, it's a very different sort of shooter, but it scratches that itch. So, I don't know. If you're looking for a first-person shooter, like, I can give my recommendation to Hell Let Loose.
I can tell you I am not looking for a first-person shooter.
No.
Where in the hell would I find time for that?
Fair enough, and games in Hell Let Loose can take a while too. So, yeah, you're too busy dealing with actual first-person shooter instance.
Oh shit! You had to go there. You had to go. I'm like a real-life GTA fucking character at this point.
Well, not the main character though, more like the side character.
No. Yeah, one of the side characters.
You're like the NPC that goes, "God fucking damn it! Why did you do that?"
My car! Oh, sweet Jesus! Oh, I think we're done with this article. We got anything else queued up? Holy shit, we've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, again, we got more enough tangents to talk on. Well, do you want to do the family lawyer one to wrap this up? Make that the final article?
Sure. What was the other article that I
Lil
had
Tay.
queued up? We could just do that real quickly.
We'll wrap it up with the Lil Tay article, and we'll save the family lawyer one for another night. Quick poll of the chat. Can I even make a poll real quick?
You should be able to, at least in YouTube.
Yeah, engage with the audience. Yeah, start a poll. Have you heard of Lil Tay before she got OnlyFans?
This a lot of people have compared this to like some of the shows and podcasts I listen to have compared this situation to when the Olsen twins reached 18. But if I recall correctly, they hit the wall hard.
Considering that I don't know of anything they did. Like, basically the Olsen twins, like, they hit 18 and then they dropped off the fucking radar.
Yeah, they hit the wall hard, man. The lifestyle was not kind to them.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, they were fucking child stars in, I think, a bunch of Disney movies. Like, things do not end well for child stars who participate in Disney movies.
Okay, we're getting some yeses in the poll. So, anyways, the situation with this is Little Tay was some child star famous for a viral Instagram post.
And apparently, like,
and a similar situation as that.
Viral rumors of her death a couple years back too.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but you can see in the article, Little Tay gained popularity at only 9 years old, with her Instagram videos started going viral. She rose to fame as a rapper in 20. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. The other, Bad Baby. That was the Cash Me Outside girl, wasn't that? Cash Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah,
she was like some spoiled brat on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, and then Jake Paul, of course, fucking one of the Pauls.
I don't know. I guess Diplo's a rapper. I wish he was a raptor.
Yeah, and then 2023, like, someone like got onto her Instagram and like posted notice of her death, and that like caused a big surge of attention.
A famous raptor. Yeah, I know. I caught myself. But it is a commentary on the state of society when
oh my
and here's
God.
something that maybe the article.
Okay, seriously, how is this shit not jailbait?
Well, first of all, what age is she in that photo? Before I make
She's
any
way
comment.
she's way too fucking old to be wearing a goddamn strawberry shortcake and Care Bear shirt.
Look at the side. Look at that long face, though. My God, Sarah Jessica Parker, take notes.
Honestly, it probably wouldn't be that long if it wasn't for all the contouring. Like the makeup's doing a lot of work here to elongate the face. The hair and the makeup are doing a shit ton of work.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like bad AI generated art.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like if AI pumped that image out, I'd like go recheck the parameters, make some adjustments, and hit refresh.
Yeah. The fact that she made him. Now, here's what maybe not everyone realizes is she was doing pre-sales of her OnlyFans. I think up to 2 years ago. And
yeah. And like, here's the
what
thing,
kind
like,
of person do you have to be like, okay, 16-year-old girl, I can wait 2 years. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. Like, who's?
I think because here's the thing. She might have opened the OnlyFans, but here's the thing: if she opened the OnlyFans at like fucking 12:01 a.m. on her birthday, there's no way that those photos were taken at 12:01 a.m. on her birthday.
I think what it says is that the OnlyFans, she like put the application in. She took the photos at 12:01 and then she put the application in, but then they got to do like ID verification, so it took 3 days for them to make her account live.
We can
I think that's the.
Yeah, we can only fucking hope that that's the case and that there wasn't a photo shoot prior to that.
Anyways,
yeah. So they like basically that's what it goes into is like, yeah, she made a bunch and then basically this entire other half of the article is just talking about her fucking like death,
her history or
death.
Whatever. No one gives a shit.
No, it's just her fake death. Like she doesn't have like she basically basically here's her history. She collabed with 3 people, and then her death was falsified 2 years ago. That's the only history that this provides.
Okay, go back up to the image at the very top, the one with her in the.
Outfit.
That she looks 18 in that one. The other one she doesn't look 18 in.
No, she does not.
I don't think she looks 18 in that picture.
That's the thing. But here's
she does look 18 in that one.
Okay, but here's the thing: if you were told that this was her at 16, that's also believable.
Yeah, if I didn't have the other photo to compare to, because I think the other one down there is her at 16. If I didn't have the other photos referenced,
between fucking lighting, makeup, and Photoshop, like there's no telling when this was taken.
Yeah, it's anyways, that photo at the top.
That thing is that shirt. Like there's fucking jail bait. This is pedo bait. Like this is not something that anyone in fucking double digits would normally choose to wear. So for this to be chosen specifically for this is straight up appealing to pedos. She knows her audience.
Yeah. And the fact she made $1 million, and somewhere it actually no, it just breaks down the numbers of subscriptions and the number of tips, and she made $486,000 from messages. Isn't it like $20 to send her a message, or $10? Or I guess she sets that price.
I wouldn't know. My AI application to OnlyFans was rejected.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, because they wanted actual fucking human ID, and it's like, no, I'm not sending my fucking actual, yes, I'm a guy doing this. I was thinking I could get away with just sending fucking AI shit. It's like, yes, it's a VTuber who's going to send fucking AI-generated smut, and that's going to be OnlyFans content. And they're like, no, you got to prove that you're an actual human being. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, no.
That's where you just hire some guys from India to manage it for you, because I guarantee you she gets $486,000 from messages. Do you think that she has personally replied to even one of them?
Oh, absolutely fucking not. No, I was talking more so just the application process, the messaging response system.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, no, I mean,
I get
honestly,
it. But just hire like a guy from India to give his ID.
no, Money. I want someone with experience. If I need somebody, if I need to hire somebody to respond to a bunch of thirsty guys, I'll hire Andrew Tate.
Yeah. You can't afford him.
I mean, for $486,000, I think I fucking can.
Oh, I don't know about that, but no, guaranteed she just
Tate
like farmed it out to like a promoter or something, and then or some manager who then goes on Fiverr and is like, yeah, I need like a call center to just be on standby to respond to these. Here's a bunch of like pre-selected messages you could use.
And I think I'm still not entirely convinced that, like, yes, I'll buy that a bunch of these were from regular people, because here's the thing. Like, okay, God, I don't want to look up her fucking account. I wonder how much a fucking subscription costs.
Hang on a second, because now that I say it, I guarantee you like 80% of the money she made was from Indian men.
That's the other thing, too. Like, this is largely fucking thirsty-ass Indian simps. Like, guaranteed, this isn't going to be fucking Americans. It's going to be fucking Indian simps who are, like, typing things like fucking show Bob's and Vagine.
We've come full circle. We've come full circle because it's nothing but Indian men messaging her and then nothing but Indian men messaging back. It's just like Indian men talking to his Indian men. We have gone full circle.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we got to be able to take the money back from India somehow. Because like they're coming here
tariffs.
and they're
from tariffs.
Wait, are we going to put tariffs on fucking OnlyFans now?
Yeah, have to ship the money overseas because it's an American company. I think. I don't actually know that for sure, but
I would hope. I think that'd be fucking hilarious if it was.
Yeah, and they're also talking about because one of the favorite things for immigrants to do is come into the country and then ship all the money back home, right?
Yeah.
Trump has been considering putting tariffs on that practice, so tariffing MoneyGrams and whatnot.
God, I would 100% fucking back that. Like
yeah, it honestly, should cost you to ship a country's money out of it.
Like, we have fucking airport security for when people want to be like, oh, you want to take $10,000 in physical cash outside the country? Well, we can't let you do that. But apparently doing a fucking wire transfer, goddamn RBC will be like, oh yeah, here, fucking toll free, send money back home. And it's all in fucking Chinese too. It's like, God fucking damn. That's where all our goddamn money's going.
So if you just tariffed that, you could probably close the deficit overnight.
Yeah, because and you wouldn't just close the deficit; you'd also nip immigration right in the bud, because that's why a bunch of them come here. But yeah, come here, make a shit ton of money, and then send it all out of the country.
Wait, there isn't? I assume you're referring to there's no current tariff to ship money out of the country. No. The only fee you ever pay is like a bank fee, which is minimal, or if you're using like money, what is it called, Western Union or whatever. There's a small fee that they take, kind of like a payment processor fee, but there's certainly nothing that stops it. Like if you immigrated from Cambodia and you're like, oh, I want to send, I made $20,000 here in Canada and I want to send it back home to like pay for my grandma. There's no restriction on that. There's nothing that stops you, and there's no cost of doing it. And in the meantime, that's $20,000 that just disappears from the Canadian economy. A properly integrated economy, you work for money, then you spend that money in Canada. That's a properly integrated economy. When you ship that money overseas, you have actually removed that cash from the system.
Here's the thing. Like, this might sound, because here's the thing. Like, I had an ex-girlfriend who was Vietnamese, and we actually got into the discussion of that because money had to be sent to her on occasion from her parents. And in Vietnam, to send money out of the country, you actually have to apply to the government to do it. you can't just do it. You got to go through a whole fucking application process. Because like the country's like not exactly running on a huge excess of cash, so they got to take a lot of care with what money's sent out. It's like, you know what? That's not a bad fucking idea.
And I mean, there should be. It's a cost of doing business because the properly integrated economy, all of the costs that support you participating in the economy, they're all factored in, right? The roads you drive on to get to work, the infrastructure, all of that is all considered the closed system. And then you go to Walmart and you buy groceries or you buy stuff for your house. That's the properly functioning economy. And that money moving back and forth, right? It comes from your employer. You then spend it back into the economy, and then Walmart, they have contractors, or they spend the money in the local area. They buy goods or whatnot.
You're supposed to increase the wealth of your money by you do work, generate wealth, like you extract resources, convert them into finished products, and then once they're a finished product, they cycle through the economy until they eventually hit the end of their use cycle. And the idea is like, okay, well, that's all money that shifts within the economy. But now you have like the wealth that should be entering into the economy being sent out of the economy. So if you imagine the economy is like a big bucket, all this fucking foreign money being sent out is fucking holes in the bucket. So it doesn't. Yep. So like now you have the point where you've got like more holes in the bucket pouring water out than you have money coming in, and you have all this fucking inflation. The money's worth less because there's less water per bucket.
And I'm sure someone in the chat will say this eventually, but they'll be like, well, what about, because Walmart buys all its stuff from China, so what about that? But first of all, the shipping cost allows you to recover the cost of infrastructure here in Canada. And then you ship the money to China. Yes, of course. China sends the money back because they buy our oil.
That's it. Like that's
they buy
trade.
our
wheat. Like
they
it's
buy
trade.
our food. Yeah, it's trade.
We get wealth in it. Like we get like a physical asset in exchange for the cash. So like the wealth, optimally, so long as everything's above board, remains the same. But when you just send money over without any physical good being exchanged back, that's just money lost. There's no exchange there.
Yep. And it's money that participates in some foreign economy that was just given. Like that other country didn't have to put a system in place in order for that money to retain any value.
Like,
so,
okay, here would be a counter.
I guess a bank.
Actually.
I guess the bank.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, you know what? Here, I have an idea. Minimal interference in existing systems, and it does actually solve a problem. Money sent out of a country counts as debt paid to that country.
Oh, I'm not sure if I like that blurring of public and private, wealth. I'm not sure I can get behind that.
But right now it's not counting for shit.
Well, that's why you tariff it. That's what. Technically, be a tax, not a tariff, but that's why you tax it.
Yeah, no. Ideally, you'd fucking tax it. But I'm thinking like, what could be done with minerals? Like, well, we've sent fucking $300 million to China without getting any goods in exchange, so our debt to China is now down $300 million.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure I can get behind that. I think just as a monetary policy, I'm not sure I can get behind that. But the tax isn't the perfect solution because you obviously can't tax at 100%. That's retarded. Can't even tax at 50%.
I think the perfect fucking solution is just be like hard no sending money outside of the country unless it's in exchange for goods of proper value.
Yeah,
like that would be a perfect.
Send some home baked goods or something.
Yeah, like if you want fucking $20, like ship some home baked goods over and whatnot. But I'm thinking like, look, if we're just gonna send all the money out anyway, we may as well get something out of it.
Just ban
Right?
immigration in general.
I mean,
Problem solved.
like cutting down on fucking immigration, international trade, like let's be honest, that would solve a fair number of problems.
Yeah. Um,
Like, would it cause
and
others?
this
Sure,
is something that
but like this is the thing that fucking pissed me off. Okay, one of the main things that pissed me off where like in the wake of like Trump's tariffs on Canada, Canadians were like, oh, we could be fucking self-sufficient. Meanwhile, now they're fucking crying because China's put a tariff on fucking canola oil. What happened to be fucking self-sufficient, guys? What happened to looking after
Elbows
ourselves,
up.
guys? No.
Elbows
You
up.
just yeah, elbows up, just and bend fucking over for a different master. Elbows up to America, ass up to everyone else.
Yeah, elbows up while also blocking Alberta's oil pipelines. Good job, guys. Good fucking job.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking Trump that blocked the Keystone XL pipeline.
Yeah, or Northern Gateway, or what was it? Energy East. But if you shut off the propane pipeline to Quebec, oh boy, do they ever! Oh, that'll get their attention.
Like as someone who's like more or less stranded in Ontario, like if everyone but fucking Ontario and the Maritimes fucking left to the US, it'd be like Godspeed. Godspeed, save yourselves.
Oh, it's funny. If all of Canada became a US state, we still wouldn't have more population or money than California, or GDP than the state of California.
I can believe that. Because then
So,
like, you look at our population distribution. I actually looked at a map of like, I think it was like Maine or whatever versus like Canada. It's like, yeah, the population density is really noticeable when you see the fucking road maps. Like you see just how little fucking area is actually used in Canada.
oh yeah. Well, this is why did Canadians think that climate change is a bad thing? That just makes more of our land livable.
Have you been further north when it's warm?
No, I've never been past the border to the Northwest Territories, whatever parallel that is.
Yeah. It is swampland filled with mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that. You don't have to go to the Northwest Territories to know that.
Yeah,
I have
no.
been very far north up into the provinces before, like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario.
Yeah, no, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like just because it opens up the fucking north does not mean that we get more usable land. It just means that the bugs are more active. But no, even in the fucking land that we do have, like the perfectly habitable, usable land,
Yeah. But
like just
all right.
just population density is low, and well, we just keep fucking filling it in with non-natives.
Feral Trout, I suggest you go back to the start of the stream once we're done here. I address that. But
Yeah, this is great.
yeah,
This is green. This is green money, Trout. This is green money.
are we are we coming up on the end here? Are you out of steam?
Yeah. I think we're good.
All right. Well, normally this is the part where I'd plug a bunch of stuff, but truth be told, I don't actually have a channel up and running yet. Work has been hell, but I do plan on starting up a channel under this persona. Getting having a bigger role with within the greater warband community. So
get it up on Rumble too, because God knows what YouTube's going to do within the next week.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. But yeah, I'm maybe when the fall comes around, I'll think of getting my channels off the ground proper, and I'll start doing some content. I know one of the first video I really want to work on is a field guide of how to survive false rape allegations, like we opened the show off with.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, like a field guide is like, oh, here's some steps you can take. You'll never be perfectly safe. I think that's the very first sentence in every, at least, field guide worth its salt. But there are things you can do that mitigate the risk. I'll also go into like what judges are looking for when these allegations get to court. Like I alluded to it here on the stream when I was referring to the WD analysis. When you're going through the WD criteria, just to give everyone a little sneak peek. Two things they talk about is the internal and external consistency. So your internal consistency is whether you're contradicting yourself. Your external consistency is whether you're contradicting the other evidence that's available. And then they have what's called self-serving testimony. And that's testimony that tends to make you look good or virtuous and everyone else looks bad. We all know the concept, even if you don't have a proper name or title for it. But we often refer to it as blaming everyone else, right? Oh, I'm not the reason this relationship dissolved. It was their fault. It was his fault or her fault, right? When you go around and start blaming everyone else, if you do that on a witness stand, the judge will think you are not credible because no one is ever that perfect. But if you get up there and be like, you know what? Yeah, I did this thing. I'm not proud about it. I had some whiskey dick when I hooked up with this girl. And I mean, it's very embarrassing, but that's what happened. That's how it went down. And a judge was like, okay. Yeah, this guy's not hiding from the embarrassing or the bad stuff. So again, hashtag not legal advice, but all right, there's my piece said for the night.
All right. Well, not sure how regularly we'll get to doing the content, but I've been trying to figure out more stuff to do, cracking around with the AI. So try to get something up and running, guys. But for now, I'm just going to sign out for the night. Y'all have a good summer. Try to survive this heat wave.
I don't think anyone got the reference of where the avatar came from either. I don't think I saw anyone mention it.
Well, keep an audio clip for next time. We'll keep doing hints. Get that soundboard together.
Yeah. All right. Peace, everyone.
Peace out.